anyway, so if there's like, if you don't have the perfect amount of stuns to get through and you have to rely on the Rolling Thunder, that's going to happen anyway. You Pango players know what we're talking about.
it's frustrating.
They're all upset about it.
The lead just keeps on growing, though, and OG will play this stranglehold map position that we've seen so many times, and 20 seconds till Roche comes back up. I'm thinking this is going to be a quick one. A quick Roche spawn.
Ooh, America's favorite game?
That's right.
Okay. All right, how quick?
I'm saying 15 seconds.
I'm going to go with 36.
Okay.
Yep.
We both are thinking it's quick.
It's quick. Quick Roche.
Absolutely. Sacred? Oh, wait. They're just going to go high. Maybe they don't care about Roche. I've seen this story before. It's going to be a 2-minute one. No, we're a little wrong. OG don't feel like they need it.
No, I don't think they do either. Again, the save, the backup, it's all there.
Got the heals, got the healing ward down. Alone moves on in. Matthew is there for the bounce, but just gets ran over.
Yeah, even the blink in from BZM here to start this off. They kind of commit a little hard there, but Paz does as well.
Okay, goes for the backlines. That stun hits nobody. It didn't hit him. And now a 3-second stun pulls him out of the direction, pulls him out of the Wukong's command. And with the Omni Slash going, Yuragi will back up a little bit. Mortimer's Kiss is not doing enough. And Thunder, they've just about used it all.
That was
the
big.
spin going back and forth. Do they have enough? Can they kill off BZM? Alone trying to do the deeps, but he gets outside of the base. And still nobody dying from OG. They're so survivable. Incredibly tanky. They will buy back on the Tusk now.
Just this Vlad, this divine favor. Divine
so
indeed.
Insane. And they move on in. BZM, good job with the roll-up. Pandamoo can't keep after them. As the snowball save will be there. Onto the creeps, head back to the base. Sacred gets the blink out. Matthew chased back. They still have a buyback on Alone, but Sam! Oh, he did it to him. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, a triple.
Who needs a blink dagger? Run up the Fissure, hit yourself with a 4-staff there. Saying a Tiger. I can make some cool plays near the fountain, too.
Oh, that hurt. Oh, yeah. I felt that in my side.
Especially with how close Thunder Awakened were actually in a moment there. When they came high ground and they actually land that big boundless strike, they start dropping low. The Mjolnir starting to do a little bit of work. And you saw them lining up Sacred there for the big scatter blast, but it wasn't like quite back yet to continue the chain stun onto 4. And when you miss that moment, it's like trying to push trees versus Treant, With this Chen in here, look at their HP pools. You can see them all moving upward.
God. And then the stun pulls him back into the base, though, with the X.
The mechs just back up this fight so long.
Yeah, they can't. It's too tough. And OG, they want to end this one quickly. It is a early day with only 3 series and trying to finish this off alone. Again, stunned, wanting to Tidebringer the snowball onto the illusion. So that's going to buy him some time, but only enough time for BZM to go back in, back and forth on top of him. A double for Amar, and Thunder Awakened, though it was a valiant attempt, I don't think they've got what it takes in the end to hold off this aggression. They kill themselves another. Kunkka runs on in. Pakaz wanting one. He just wants to take down Seb, this dastardly Earthshaker. As BZM runs back through onto both. Monkey King is dead, and GG is going to get called. OG, another 2-0.
Yeah, leveling up even harder in game number 2. Particularly BZM. Fantastic Pango. Best Pango I've seen in the tournament so far. Just when his team needed him most, he kind of was the big initiator because they wound up going for this Chaos Knight for Amar this time. And so you don't have this more traditional initiating hero. And so he's kind of just at the will of his allies in terms of like where they want to engage, where they want to fight. BZM just let them set up so easily.
Yeah, and I think back to that like Roche fight again too, and how just like chaotic it got. And that was the moment where it felt like it could have gone either way, and he came out on top.
Did all the damage. 14,000 damage himself. The rest of the team was like tiny little bars.
Right.
He's like,
I know they really took care of business. A really freaking solid series. I love seeing these two teams face off against each other. I hope we get to see more of it. But for now, at least, it's OG that come out atop again, 2-0 over Thunder Awaken.
There it is.
God, he's so good at his job. That's so right. OG 2-0 over that Thunder Awaken. I think that's
it's Thunder Predator?
Thunder
Predator, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Lightning Awaken?
It is OG taking game number 2 against Thunder Awaken. Thank you, Lyrical and Trent. You guys were amazing that series. But let's break down game 2 here. It didn't feel as in control for Thunder Awaken compared to game 1. Thunder Awaken had a lot of redeeming qualities. But here in game 2, even in the early phase, it felt very much like OG had more of the tempo setting.
Absolutely. The early fights were going OG's way this time around. The lanes, again, Thunder Awaken seems to be just beasts in the lanes. I mean, they kind of draft for it a bit, but I think some of their heroes, the Monkeys, the Snapfires. But the early team fights were actually being won by OG. I think particularly we saw around that bottom tier 1 tower. And it really was just execution, as well as to me, Tiger's Chen was just a beast, healing everybody up, microing his creeps. He was doing the most damage in some of those team fights.
The penitence, man.
Dude, the Chen was just amazing this game.
Like, heroes alive.
Tiger.
Yeah. There's also some misplays, like Sacred blinking in on his snap and dying.
There was definitely some of those fights where it just, and they would like catch someone with the Kunkka X and then miss the combos, like there was some misexecution.
Does Snap miss her Q here?
What's what?
Scatter Blast? Because I was quite upset when he didn't die.
It wasn't a total miss. It did somewhat go into Tiger, but this, Roche fight was definitely really bad for Thunder Awaken. It was sort of that turning point, I felt, to really give OG the lead sheet.
Yes, I think this was a really good example of how Thunder needed to clean up last game when they were ahead. OG did a really great job of controlling the map. They had a bunch of lane wards predominantly that they were utilizing. They had one kind of at the entrance, like on the top lane, they had one at the entrance of the enemy's base, so they could see him leaving the base or maybe smoking. They had one at the top, so that if a hero was up there, they kind of saw the entrance to the jungle. If heroes were trying to go to the top side of the map, they were playing bot. After that Roche, we saw them just go siege bot tier 2 tower, take the outpost, control that area properly. They had a lane ward down there too. They basically just played really hard off vision, knowing where heroes were, and then they were so hard to kill, like Jug. You saw them try to kill the Jug, he just didn't die. And then by the time that his friends have just TP to the outpost and then reinitiate, and it's like too hard for Thunder Awaken to make any sort of play.
Yeah. The match MVP here, BZM, he was on that Pengo, someone I wanted to bring up and have a talk about as well. He didn't have like a crazy great game 1 when it came to lanes, but ultimately BZM here coming out on top. He did so much for the team at Gods in game 2.
He was a beast. I totally agree with this. He was a pleasure to watch. The rampage around the Roshan pit. His Skyblast, you know, he dodged it. It was a dodge.
It was a dodge.
He dodged.
Matrix dodged that shit, bro.
He knew it was a close range, so he just had to slightly, you know. But like, I think particularly those fights around. I mean, I mentioned how Tiger's Chen impact. I think he was the other guy in those big team fights who was just causing all that chaos. Big part, like it's hard to land spells on Pengo some of the time. He's got all this mobility, all this kind of disruption when it comes to a team fight, and he made it really hard for Thunder Awaken to execute any kind of game plan or team fight in the early game.
I loved his movement. Just always stopping everything. He was very active.
Do you feel there was any way for Thunder Awaken to be able to get back into it? I saw them, splitting on the map a whole lot. Was there a way in which they could have taken team fights or tried to take back some of that map?
I think they need to snowball more. Once you're behind, like with cores like Monkey, like they're playing Monkey Carry, like you can't afford to fall behind and then try and catch up. It was very much a, hey, we won our lanes, then they need to win those early fights. Like that bottom, I mentioned like 2 or 3 times, that bottom tier fight, that was a winnable fight for them. And it's those moments where you can't afford to lose a single team fight against this OG draft, or they're going to just take over the map.
Yeah, there were some times I saw them like quite split on Thunder Awaken when they just need to group as 5 and go.
Ultimately, Thunder Awaken, there were some good plays from them. There are silver linings, but ultimately they fall 2-0 to OG. It is our first series for the day done and dusted. We will be back after a break with Boom and Aster.
Boom?
Boom?
Radiant's middle barracks are under Coming up next, Team Aster versus Boom Esports.
So I got Snake King with me here to join me for a bit of a getting to know moment. I'm new in the Dota world, but we're gonna find out a little bit more about you and just how you came to be, how you came to sit in the seat you're in now, and be playing Dota 2 at the high level that you are. So what I do to start off with is go really far back, right?
Okay.
Growing up in your household, your family, your childhood, what was that like? What was the snaking life before you were snaking?
Yeah, growing up, I've always played games, a lot of games.
Nice.
I started with like PlayStation back in the old days where PlayStation 1. It was the original OG one, PlayStation 1, you know? And because I grew up in China didn't have any Xboxes. So I was only familiar with the PlayStation. It wasn't until America that I experienced that there were other gaming stations. I'd never even seen a Nintendo 64 or an Xbox before. I started playing Dota just from Warcraft 3. I was playing the original Warcraft Reign of Chaos, and back then Dota was very different. It only had I remember the original Dota had one lane, and it was maybe 14 heroes or something, and then it was a 3v3 game. It was not until Dota All-Stars that the game became like a 3-lane, and there's a bunch more heroes, and the game kind of is what it is today. And I remember the very first Dota All-Star hero I played was Faceless Void. It had a pretty deep impressions on me because I was actually playing well for the first time, and people were impressed, and they complimented me, and I just remembered it very fondly. It was quite the pleasant experience.
The positive reinforcement,
yes,
right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
for sure.
You gotta have those positive reinforcements.
Definitely.
That's just how life is.
Dota, right, is where it kind of captured your heart, captured your real competitive side of things. So I'm going to come on to pod and bottom, right? The team that you start off before we go to digging test side of things. Would you consider this part where you were taking it more seriously, or was there before you'd already taken the decision to go more serious into it?
It wasn't too serious at first. I remember that when we formed the team, one tournament specifically, I think it was called R2DL. We beat the IG, which was one of the China's strongest team, and we ended up winning that tournament, and it gave us a huge confident boost. And in that tournament, we also beat Navi with Dendi, who was it was after TI1, who had won TI, so it was a very coveted thing to beat Navi back in the days. And that was the moment I was like, we're actually good. We can go far, and that's kind of when I took things a lot more seriously. Winning a really big championship is especially on LAN is kind of what I'm looking for, and I just want to make it happen.
We're talking about a decade plus, right? Your first international was in 2013.
Yes, that was correct. I was still in high school. I was a senior, I remember. It was kind of the first time I really had a huge crowd watching. I was just really nervous.
Of course.
And being nervous is not good. I definitely was not the most emotionally stable, and I vented a lot of frustrations. My attitude wasn't the best. And these things are something I look back and I'm I haven't worked on and improved a lot, and something I'm still working on. Because there's ever grinding, you know? You can never achieve perfection, but you can strive for it.
Did it feel like something that was natural to go join Navi in that sense?
Navi is a very coveted organization, and I was very happy to be a part of it. But it ended up being short term because we bombed out at TI, and then the team kind of crumbled afterwards.
You're studying in college is obviously very hard. What were you studying in college?
Computer science.
Ever a thought in your mind about, maybe I need to not play anymore? Maybe I need to slow things down? It just kept happening.
It just kept happening. It was just I would just play for fun. And then it was not until I graduated when I went for, I think it was Team Freedom at the time. When I went to try to play for the TI qualifiers, that's when I declined 3 job offers at a time after graduation.
Wow.
To try to play competitive for 1 year and see where to go. And we failed at Team Freedom, but the thing is, luckily, I was invited to join VGJ Storm, an organization. They paid me a salary and everything at the time, and it just kept me going. We qualified to the 8th International as VGJ Storm representing America, and that was the best result I've had, top 8, you know? And it was, I still remember, like, we lost to Team Secret 2-0. A very crushing defeat and experience because it's the first time I've had such a good team that we were able to go far, and I felt like we could have went even further if maybe a few things went our way, if I had played better. And you can't help but to have these thoughts, you know?
Of course, right? You do your own internal review of it, right?
I played for another year, and then I went to the 9th International as team forward. We ended up crushing our opponent in the finals 3-1. It was actually J-Storm. They rebranded my old organization.
Nice bit of revenge.
Yeah. I get to go to the TI once again, which is like every Dota player's dream is to just go to TI and play. And hopefully you do well. But I didn't get complacent. I really wanted to win. And that year we ended up also not doing too well. We got 9th to 12th. We lost to Infamous, the current Beast Coast. And they were a very good team. Like, this was when everyone had underestimated South America. They kind of proved the world, like, you know, South America is not to be, you know, laughed at. And they can put up a fight.
What do you make of where NA Dota is at right now?
I think NA Dota is currently in a really bad state. I think it just stems from the low player base. In Europe, there's like 10 times more games happening and 10 times the player base, and that just means there are going to be way more good players in Europe, and then good players will foster great players. NA as a region as a whole right now just lack players. When I was finally given the opportunity after the pandemic to play for Tundra, I kind of, initially, it was another rocky start, but
were you surprised at this offer?
Yes.
Were you like, it was like out of nowhere for you?
Oh, the Tundra offer, yes. Yeah, it was very random. I think it was 33 initially at the time. He told me that the Biver had left the team for whatever reason, and he offered me a slot. And I joined Tundra. Things just got better. We were able to improve, and we ended up winning some tournaments afterwards as well. So I was very happy with that.
Okay, so we got to this point now where it's Tundra, right? And now you're trying to make your mark. Will you say that this is your best team you've been on?
I think definitely. But even with that said, there's still a lot to improve, because there's always this. There's always something you can do better, whether it's communication, whether it's gameplay, whether it's your attitude. There's a lot of things to make a team do well in a Dota setting. And a lot of it is outside of the game. Like there's like a lot of psychology is involved, and a lot of like other things at work, maybe even dieting. I think a lot of these things are underrated. If you eat like crap, you're gonna play like crap.
But how long do you think you'll be playing Dota now going forward?
You just keep going, and then see when it finally ends. See where this will take me. And I'm just letting Dota take the wheel right now.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for your time, man. It's an absolute pleasure getting to know you a bit more. Hope you had some fun on that one, and yeah, good luck throughout the rest of the tournament. Let's see those goals come true.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys next time.
Power can be found in any number of places. Scientists will tell you that it comes in newtons. Gamers will say that it can be found in silky skills. We will say that the power lies in real thrills. In the play with perfect ping. In the runes and crystals. In every frag and gank. In your personal winnings. Lock and load for PGL Arlington.
Howdy, everybody. It's another Arlington Major Day. We got some great... I can't do it, but...
You gotta go way hard. Howdy, y'all! Welcome to Arlington!
I watched that Slack tutorial again last night, and I tried. I still can't, but we have Aster versus...
Wait, there's a tutorial?
Boom. There is. It's really good, actually. It's hilarious. But, you know, hi, I am Sajidine. We have Aster versus Boom. It's gonna be great, and I do have joining me today our absolute resident expert on Boom.
That's me. That's me.
That is she.
That's me. I watch their replays to fall asleep at night, just over and over again in my head. Jetboy Ember.
That good? I mean, okay.
That good.
That good.
That good.
Great. And then obviously, to balance things out, we need to have some big brains to talk about the Chinese Dota scene right here, and that is Lizard over on the other end.
Very respectable. What a guy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, as we get ready to dive right in, because it's going to be going fast, getting ready for the draft here. I mean, I guess I'll start things off with Japoy, Yopaj, Lizard. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
Why would you ask him? This is so...
I know, I intro you.
So messed up.
Right? He's just another player, right? What is he for you, Sheepstick?
Uh-oh.
My idol, Japoy, Yopaj, the Ember Spirit connoisseur. I mean, this guy, oh my god. We're looking at Aster, so I really think we should talk about them. But
I will talk about them when
Boom's on?
When Boom's
okay,
on.
I'll tell you. I love Boom. I really love Boom. I think they play a playstyle that is a bit older. Right now, we're seeing a lot of like 3 carries type lineups, whereas Boom have always really excelled in the old style of like sacrificial off lane, going in with a stun. Oh shit, Boom's on the screen. Go, go!
Yeah. Step aside when we're about to talk about Aster now. Because Aster, they're the masters of pretty much everything right now. Aster, master, a lot of memes coming from the Chinese region, memes involving them never being able to compete internationally, but owning everyone at the regionals, something that made them a little bit infamous in the Chinese DPC. They're coming in strong. This major, they're actually proving everyone wrong. And so far, they're on a really good run.
I mean, good run. They've pretty much locked themselves in for their group. They are guaranteed to be playing in the upper bracket. So as far as this match is concerned, it's just a bit of a... I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say
practice.
I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure it's flex. But I mean, for Boom, it's an absolutely important match for them. Every win still counts, and I don't think Aster is going to make it easy for them just because they've already qualified for the next playoffs.
I really want to dig into Boom and talking more about them, but like Baboka Aster is on my screen right now. How hype is that? He's played it one other time this tournament already. He doesn't get better than this when you see that hero on the screen.
So you want to jump straight into the draft?
I mean,
tell me about the Earth Spirit Baboka.
The Earth Spirit Baboka? It's Baboka's Earth Spirit, the Spirit of Earth Baboka. I mean, the guy's a beast on the hero. He'll hit the rolls. He'll make the plays. I think I might have watched the last game he played, and he was setting up just everything. I think he had like a 90% roll hit rate or something. This dude was just everywhere on the map. Like I feel very confident in like Aster's ability to set up any move when they have it, and I think it's so good against Jug. It might have been his Earth Spirit or someone else's, but the silence, you get the early point, and you're able to kill Jug very easily. You can like, even in laning, like you want to force him out the safe lane, and you can do that with like a carry rotation or a mid rotation plus the early silence point on Earth Spirit. Roll in, he's dead.
At the same time, Jug hasn't been picked for nothing, right? For no reason. He's been picked because there's magic immunity built in, which is eventually good versus the Earth Spirit, and you have a way of dealing with the Eggs. So the moment I see Earth Spirit and Phoenix on one team, I know that I'll have to buy BKBs on every single core as soon as possible, right? Yeah. Or I'll need heroes that have built-in BKBs, which is where Jug comes into play, right? what about the Wyvern? We have an ice bird on the other, a fiery burb on the other. Which one do we
fire
prefer?
and ice.
I like Phoenix a lot. I think Wyvern was picked a lot throughout the Tour 3, just as not like a high priority 5 support, but she was often just picked because naturally she's been good against this zoo meta everyone's been doing and dealing with all the physical damage there. Phoenix actually started getting picked up a little bit towards the tail end into like Riyadh Masters. Aster is one of the Chinese teams that was playing it. It's looking like a nice hero. I think I've enjoyed it personally as a response to a hero like Razor, because you can help deal with the static link early on. But 5 pick, did they have first pick? Oh no, they picked in response to Wyvern. I do like that too. Yeah, there's just a lot of magic damage.
Boom had first pick for this one, but yeah, I mean, obviously the heal is still like it's just such a popular. You gotta have heals right now with how everybody wants to fight fast, fight hard, and. I mean, not surprising. So, another not surprising move here on the side of Boom, though, is banning out that Pudge.
It's something that Aster really loves to play, but they're just so versatile. Like, when you look at this team, I feel that all the Chinese teams have the biggest variety of bans used against them. Like, every team has their own idea what to ban. Like, versus Aster, it's most of the time some Razor in the first stage, and then afterwards you just have to ban out what's good against you, because these guys will play anything.
Yeah.
Like, when you just think about the offlane on Aster, right? Like, he's been voted the MVP of the whole Chinese region, and for a reason. Like, whatever he plays, he performs on. Do you want 33 kind of micro heroes, your beasts, your visages? He can do it. Do you want your Legion commanders and centaurs? He can do it. I don't think he can play Meepo as well as Sheepstick, but...
What can you do? Or Lizard.
Right.
Yeah, but,
that's my senpai right there.
But... I love this. I love this chemistry, by the way.
So another thing that's standing out to me here, and this is like for the side that Aster has banned, is they've banned out a Mirana.
Okay, I got lost to say.
I know that. I'm setting you up for this because Mirana is not a hero you'd never normally see just get banned out, picked even, but Boom.
Tell us, Sheep.
Okay, so very quickly, just to go back to you, very quickly. LGD actually said that in their game plan against Aster, they targeted XXS. So what you say is all super legit. Like, that guy is a beast. Anyway, Boom. These guys have a very... when you look at the top of their peak performance, they have a smaller hero pool. You see Yopaj's Ember Spirit, gone. You see the Tim's Mirana, gone. He played it for the first time in this tournament yesterday. It was the hero's first pickup. He performs very well because FBZ tends to enjoy these stunning offlaners, so they synergize quite well in lane together. The Pango also gone. That's another one that FBZ is fantastic at. Yopaj started playing with it around Tour 3 at the beginning, but it usually didn't go very well. I don't... to flame a little, I don't think he's that good at the Pango, and I usually heavily prefer it on FBZ. He is so familiar with Pango, his ability to push the hero to the limit is like insane. So all these bans are very tailored to like Boom's best. And they will give FBZ his Mars in response. That's whew!
Mars is Snapfire as well. And I think this is the problem that you have with banning out the Mirana. Yeah, definitely it's Boom's one of their go-to heroes, right? At the same time, Mirana is really good versus Phoenix. It's a little bit of both, right?
True, yeah.
So you're banning out that, but you're still leaving some hero that might even be better and synergizes very well with the Mars, and that's the Snapfire. Now you have a ton of magic damage, a ton of teamfight potential coming from Boom. A little bit telegraphed, right? The moment you see the Snapfire missing has that 6, you can expect the rotation to come with the arena. But it still works.
Yeah.
It's simple and it works. Why not go for it? Meanwhile, the Death Prophet on Aster, like, their teamfight is just as strong. I'm going to enjoy these. And the void. Okay, like, this is going to be.
This is very big.
Yeah.
Love those two together.
So Boom, their way of playing, like their playstyle, is not this greedier Mars that goes like an armlet. The way you saw Collapse playing it, like TI for example, he buys a blink. Like, the whole game plan of Boom is they bring their supports mid as much as possible for runes to secure them for Yopaj, and then FBZ will farm up a blink dagger and then just connect with Yopaj, and then they will just make plays and run at you. So you can see if if there's a lot of playmakers on the team, sometimes they'll also like split their heroes across the map. You might see the Mars Snapfire running at someone top. You might see Yopaj plus the support running at someone bot. They are very good at making plays. This is what this team does. If you shut that down, they crumble a little bit.
And you can shut it down by constantly being able to fight with your heroes, right? Like your Void with the Chrono, or the Death Prophet with her ulti, or the Phoenix and Earth Spirit. Like, there's just so many combos that work for them, and that can net them either objectives or kills. The only problem is the downtime. Like, what happens once they use these spells? If you think about it, Boom probably is a little bit faster, a little bit more mobile when it comes to their spells and their usages right early on. Both of these teams, do we expect this to be a success, Death Prophet?
I hope so. I really love the offlane DPs. They seem so like strong just in terms of like their trading's really good. You bring like your mid hero to her lane and then take the tower. Obviously a mid DP can make the same rotation, but it's easier when she's just there and you have like maybe a better mid that can TP react, because Boom are gonna try and look for dives and kills. So when you have like Puck, or I know Puck's banned, but like a hero like Puck that can TP in and like have that mobility, it's nice. Or like the Void Spirit, something with catch. I really like that for mid.
I mean, as far as like mobility is, I mean, we're kind of seeing that already on the side of Aster with the Phoenix, the Earth Spirit, even Faceless Void Rake being able to jump in.
Yeah.
Not so much on the side of Boom as far as that initiation factor is concerned. Is that something that they'd want to kind of keep in mind? I mean, we're noticing a lot.
That's something that I completely agree with you, and I feel the same way. Meanwhile, Aster isn't like, they aren't thinking the same way we are. They obviously banned the Beastmaster just now.
Something to be wary of, I guess.
Oh,
of course, it could be a mid. It could be a mid Snapfire. Maybe they move around. I don't know what they want to do.
That's something that Aster is very well aware of.
Yeah.
They're expecting either the Wyvern or the Snap, maybe even the Mars to be mid. I'm not sure, but they're expecting one of these three, as they just banned out 2 offlaners.
Yeah, I totally blanked on the fact. I don't know why. It's like my favorite thing through Tour 3, but Yopaj has an absolutely beastly Snapfire mid. It goes like the booster trap. I mean, they might just pick his hero here, but oh, a Coddle.
Wow.
Is that mid? Is that Scam?
It could be Scam. I really love it when Scam plays. I mean, they have a Wyvern too, though. What's happening?
It's all mind games right now.
I love when Schem plays Coddle and he will run to mid and like play with Yopaj like a lot, like hardcore.
They did that a lot when Yopaj was playing these Embers and Storms.
Yeah.
Like, you come in, you just give him mana. You just feed that boy mana, like baby his milk.
Baby his milk. I love that.
Constantly destroying, yeah.
It's I'm only confused because I haven't seen Yopaj playing like Wyvern and Coddle and Mars.
I usually, whenever I see Yopaj, I imagine Windranger, Ember, Storm, these kind of heroes.
His Invoker too was like back in Singapore Major. It was a big one.
Yeah, this is a different approach now, but it can work. From Aster, I would like to see DP on offlane now and any sort of a playmaker mid. It is a bit difficult because you have to imagine you're playing into a Coddle. You don't want to be suffering those blasts to the face. But they just go with
There's the range.
Yeah, they just go with the catch. It's good. Like, you have Snapfire, you have Coddle, you have Winter Wyvern. Those 3 heroes are very susceptible to these backline jumpers, and Void Spirit makes a lot of sense.
You have that paired with an Earth Spirit on Baboka, no less.
Well, look at
and
that
this is pretty terrifying.
Well, what's that?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
that's awful.
Don't let those numbers fool you, I suppose.
It's fine. It's
fine.
It's
no big deal. It's no big deal. I mean, so
is Yopaj Coddle?
Are we feeling comfortable then with the lineup that Aster has here? I feel like that's where I'm putting my money in.
I like both drafts. I think that Aster with the Void Spirit kind of alleviated their problem they had with long cooldowns. Now they can play all the time as well. They have this playmaker. But I don't mind Boom's draft too.
Yeah.
I still think that even though Void Spirit is 35%, Shaker was 0% before PSG-LGD.
Right.
So.
True, yeah.
Well, with that, it's literally anybody's game for game number 1 here with a Boom versus Aster to bring you all of the fun. You all get the pleasure to listen to Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Sunsfan here with Jenkins, Stream A.
Seems we've been demoted from Stream B, unfortunately.
How that happens. I think it was Lyrical forgetting the team that he had just
Lyrical was fired after that just terrible screw-up at the end of game number 2. But we have an interesting matchup here. Boom versus Aster. Aster, obviously, they've secured themselves upper bracket already.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot to play for because the position does matter within the top 4. Boom, they're right on the cusp. They're tied with a bunch of teams, including EG, at 6 and 6. So, I mean, these are probably a little bit more important for Boom, but it's not like Aster's going to take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, Boom's score looks a little like middle of the pack, but they've won one to like almost everybody. So
they always tell me to put this behind. It just doesn't. It just doesn't happen. Go ahead, Jenkins. Sorry about that.
Right, Boom has won one. Boom has won almost everybody. Can you hear that in my voice that you're slapping?
Not really, actually.
Because I feel like
I do it a little harder.
For me, it's reverberating, but maybe that's just my internal kind of voice. Going on there. Who are we casting again?
Boom versus Aster.
That's right. Boom versus Aster. Lots of big team fighting on both sides this time, which is what I'm excited about. Can't wait to see the Phoenix Void combo again. That was an old classic a few metas ago.
Sorry, which classic?
The Phoenix Void.
Oh, okay.
The Egg Chrono. The double bubble, if you will.
That is a double bubble. The old EG strat, if you want to call it that. Of course, it was more black hole chrono, I guess, than anything. But yeah, do you like any particular lineup? Do they speak to you in any capacity, Mr. Jenkins?
No, I think Booms definitely speaks to me. It's a pretty nice Jug game, and early phase Jug. It's a hero that's been moving up in the pick order. It's looked very good with this, what looked to be strange at the start of the tournament, Midas build, also sometimes skipping the crit and going for only 1 point in crit, going for stats, playing off of just being tanky, and the Ag Shard and magic damage coming from the Blade Fury. Yeah, I think it's other than of course the Faceless Void, which is fantastic against Jug, which was a late pick. It's a really solid Jug game. Killed the Phoenix Egg, lots of really good team fight between Mars, Wyvern, and Snapfire. But Aster, I mean, they also have extremely solid team fight. I think if the game goes very late, Aster is definitely pleased.
Yep, I mean, Faceless Void, do you get any more of a hard carry than that?
The battle begins.
Maybe a Terrorblade? I don't know, actually. Faceless Void, the Chrono is, it's almost like that black hole, except it's on a carry,
Yeah,
right?
You just kind of pause time, and you can kill, you pick one guy, and you kill them. And you can...
By then, you have a refresher, probably, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't... It feels like with Faceless Void late game, it's really about... Like, for Boom, there are other heroes in disabling the Void so that he can't get the Chrono off. And then Juggernaut maybe doesn't look so rough into the Faceless Void. But, like, 1-to-1, yeah, Void is going to beat almost any carry because you just pause them and then kill them in the pause, essentially.
As we can see, XXS, one of the worst names to pronounce, actually, I have to say. Very difficult in team fights. He's going to take a full Blade Fury here from Jackie, along with the Arctic Burn coming out from Skemp. But not enough to find themselves a kill. I mean, in this lane, do you expect Jackie to get relatively free farm? I would assume Boboka at some point will have to leave to attempt to gank mid, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Is this a good Jug lane?
It's all right. I mean, you can maybe man up and kill a Death Prophet. XXS started with the Salve, knowing that this like spin combo was going to happen eventually. But DB is a really fast hero, 325 base move speed. Once she gets boots, plus maybe a Windlace, it is hard to connect a Jug spin onto her. It's kind of like a skill lane. I think in a totally passive lane, XXS will outperform.
Blade Fury again. Bunch of regen already been used from XXS. But again, will survive as the regen's starting to get low now. Only one Tango on him and one gifted via Boboka. Jackie off to, I mean, in terms of CS, not the greatest start, but they are doing a lot of damage to this Aster lineup in the bot lane.
Yeah, he's sacking CS to get some harass, which I think is what you need to do against Death Prophet, for sure.
And mid lane is something we haven't really talked about, but Yopaj versus Ori. Coddle versus the Void Spirit. Void Spirit not really that popular anymore. He's kind of dropped off. But how does this lane work for him? Because I feel like Coddle just won't really take... He's just going to push out the lanes like he usually does. It would require a gank from likely Boboka to try to take him out. But he's still so far back in the lane. It's just a difficult hero to gank.
Yeah, I mean, the saving grace is that when Void does hit level 6, it's one of the few heroes that can jump a Coddle that's good. I mean, like a hero like Storm could do it, but Storm is just not super popular in this patch. Void is a little bit more so. So with the rotation, they can definitely kill the Coddle, but up until that point, I feel like Coddle should outfarm almost anything mid. So it just depends on the rotations and how far ahead Coddle can get by the point Void Spirit gets level 6.
Right. And for the laning stage, Monet 16-3 for the CS. You can see versus the Jug on the other side of the map, 10-2. So a little bit better here from Aster as XXS. Just turning it around a bit with his Spirit Siphon. So he's been living on pretty low HP this entire laning stage, it feels. And I'm sure he's had to spend plenty on regeneration.
Yeah, he went for a Bracer on Death Prophet, which is not super common. A lot of the time you'll see double null, but in this lane, it does kind of feel like there is a certain threshold where Jug Spin's going to do a certain amount of damage, and like in the Wyvern Slow as well, where if you just have enough HP, you're not going to die to the spin, and then you can slowly regen up when the spin is on cooldown. So I like the idea of going some stat items for XXS.
And Skem getting chased off by Baboka right now. And I actually do miss Earth Spirit quite a bit. We don't get to see him all too often. We're seeing repeated high fives between them. A lot of respect between these teams, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm just making that up, but it's probably true.
It's a handshake if you're repeatedly high-fiving.
That's not really true.
Yeah, well,
repeated high five. I mean, if you hold the high five, then that's just caressing the hand. A handshake is its own thing.
Which would be the utmost respect.
Yes, remember, we're on stream A, so maybe not best to go off on these tangents again.
That's right. We'll get back to the game.
We've been downgraded to stream A, unfortunately. Stream B was a real safe haven for us degens out there. As you can see, Siamese Cat on the Phoenix. Pretty much out of mana right now, but Monet looks like he's going to do... He's going to get off a time dilation, but Siamese, he's going to end up dodging that rebuke from FBZ. But still, Monet very happy with his CS right now. And the question is, will they be able to force him out of lane? Because this is one thing about Void. Depending on what lane you're going against, you kind of... He's not the greatest laner. I mean, he's gotten better with time dilation and whatnot, but sometimes you just have to force him into the jungle. And the question is, do they have that capabilities on the side of Boom?
I think Mars is pretty good at forcing a Void out of lane. Ooh, that's a nice... Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Death Prophet versus Jug, is you're just such a fast hero, and you've got this incredible attack range. It's actually really easy to kill the healing ward. As long as you don't feed on Death Prophet in that lane, it's a pretty free one. Which is exactly why Boom was trying to be so aggressive on him early, is they realized that they wanted to, like, punish him while he's still slow, without those boots.
And Yopaj doing extremely well, as we've seen so many times from the Coddle. Yep. Looks like they're going to get the first blood, does Ori, so the first rotation coming from him is successful, taking out Tim's on that Snapfire. I mean, that's the one thing. Yopaj, I would assume, going for a really quick Boots of Travel, so I feel like this is a bit cookie cutter. I mean, we did see literally one branch, I should say, into Boots of Travel the other day.
I started with brown boots, too, on Zai.
Yeah.
Off lane, of course, so I think you have... It makes more sense on off lane because you're getting less farm. So
it makes more sense on
I think so, yeah. Huh. Like, absolutely rushing it. Okay. Because mid, you can go for these like small stat items, still get enough CS because you're getting the easy camp as well. And a full lane of XP, which means you have higher levels in the Coddle Blast. Like, you're going to obviously farm faster as a mid lane Coddle. So you can go for some of these smaller items because you want the Boots of Travel as early as possible because it means that he could respond to that rotation top if he had the Boots of Travel. But he just doesn't have the timing yet.
I mean, it was relatively close. It was like 300 off at the time, but it's now being delivered to him, so we'll see how much, how active he's going to want to be here. But obviously, Ori already off to a pretty damn good start. Top net worth thanks to that first blood. And looks like he's working on a Spirit Vessel next for Yopaj, and Ori in the meantime. All right, we're going to see the Yules. Obviously, we haven't gotten to cast a lot of SEA or China. It's been mostly NAEU, but Yules has kind of fallen off in favor for Void Spirits in this last DPC season, it feels like, from the games that we've watched.
It has. It's been like mostly Ethereal Blade and just trying to burst people. But I do feel like Yules gives you a better ability to jump heroes. And in this game, for Boom, there's Snapfire, Wyvern, and Coddle that are all heroes that you really want to jump in the back lines of fights. So it does feel like Yules is the right move. We will see if he actually completes it. There's been a lot of players queuing something up and then, entirely changing it because the game just it looks better to get another item, but I do think Yules makes sense. The more jump, the better.
Great setup for his own Remnant. And in terms of dispels, not that many, I guess, but it is a good save for himself as well. I mean, just getting that extra second or two of invulnerability, usually enough time to get something else off cooldown like his ult or the Dissimulate itself. He's going to be taking out this wave now and see if he tries to rotate a bit. Because other than that first blood, we haven't really seen a whole lot of fighting, really. Like some harassment in the bot lane, but they kind of gave up on the Blade Fury attempt on the DP since she was surviving repeatedly.
Yeah, once she's got that move speed, there's just very little way to do that. Oh, miss.
Scab, yeah, he's going to get caught out. That looks to be an easy one for Aster again, so up 2-0. And I think Yopaj was waiting for, we keep saying he's waiting for something, but I think the urn, getting those early charges is going to be pretty important. I think that's being delivered now. So we'll see if that is the time in which he wants to. I mean, he could just be fine farming as well, because he does farm so much faster than anybody.
I think it's more so he's waiting for FBZ to get level 6.
Okay.
Because I think without the arena, rotating top is a bit scuffed. He's so close to, he's trying to get this one creep.
Yep. He's not going to find it quite yet.
There, they got it.
And there we go. So they tried to set up a little gank there with that cookie, but not really materializing.
Yeah, they wanted to do the thing where you get you're level 5, and then you get level 6 like off the creep as the initiation is happening.
Right.
It's a really good way to catch people off guard, but unfortunately it didn't work out there.
So Yopaj back into the mid lane again. So again, back to the farm between the position ones. In terms of net worth, 3,800. Oh, bottom lane, Ori and company. You can see the first exorcism of the game will result on a big kill onto Jackie. FBZ waiting in the trees with his arena. The question is, does Aster want to continue on here? Baboka runs right into FBZ. There's the arena, but it is just for the support Earth Spirit. But either way, first kill for Boom on the board. Obviously not a great trade in the end for that Juggernaut, who is kind of middle of the pack on farm right now, about 500 net worth behind the Faceless Void.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think ideally if you're making that trade there, if your Mars is coming bot, like all 3 cores technically were on the bot lane, you would ideally get the kill on XXS or Ori. It's just Ori's a lot harder of a kill. But yeah, unfortunately, great positioning from Baboka. Very fortunate for Aster. And just good play all around.
Yeah, how do they kill the Void?
Top lane.
Ori, meaning. That's top lane, yep. Looks like Snapfire is going to take a tumble here. Just outnumbered. Yopaj does come, though. Gets off the Solar Bind, and he's going to bring Baboka back into his arms. But Baboka, oh, he's going to dodge the Illuminate just barely, and the Urn Charge is not going to be enough to drop him, so not able to get any sort of a trade there. But, I mean, looking at the lineup of Boom, how do they kill Ori? Feels like a very difficult game or very difficult kill for the most part throughout the entirety of the game. I mean, Curse is the big one, I guess, but they don't have that much lockdown, really.
They need to connect a Spear on him, like Spear into Arena, which obviously is a lot easier with the Blink Dagger, which FBC is not really close to. They can set that up with a nice cookie, but I think they have to get kind of lucky for that. The Curse is probably the most guaranteed thing, is cursing into Arena and then Spear.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of feel like up until the point that FBZ has his Blink, they're probably just going to ignore Monet's existence. That's just the state of the game. It's not, you know, it's not that big of a deal to do that. It's not like a Void flash farms that fast anyway. I think they're more than happy waiting for the Blink Dagger. Also, maybe an Orchid on Coddle at some point. He's very farmed, almost as the Vessel. We'll see what his next item choice is.
Yep, getting that Orchid with, I mean, the Yules from Ori is going to dispel that, so that's already a counter. But Monet, obviously the BKB at some point will be wanted. We'll see how greedy he wants to be. Starting out with the Maelstrom for Monet. About 600 away from that as FBZ is smoked, and they're looking for a kill. And it looks like Siamese Cat is who they might have to settle for, and they'll find it. Nice little fried chicken for Boom.
They had to kill him. He was just holding the top lane. With Phoenix, it's so easy to just sit there and fire spirits out the wave. If he's sitting in trees, it feels impossible to take the tower. Even with a bunch of heroes, it's not easy to sit there and tank the tower. So yeah, you got to commit stuff for the Phoenix. But Aster, they want to get a trade for this.
Yep, Monet leading the charge with this smoke. They're going to run into Skem, doing a nice job of breaking said smoke. See if he ends up being the sacrifice. Aether Remnant will cancel the TP, so that'll be an easy one for Aster, but Boom, obviously...
neutral creep got him.
Oh, okay.
All right, Tomato.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Tomato. I mean, that is he's pretty ripped, so it makes sense that he'd be able to do that.
That's right.
Or the pine cones, maybe not so much.
No, they're quite pathetic.
So yeah, that's pretty much best case scenario for Boom. They put, I mean, we haven't seen a Chronosphere yet, and that was going to be the first one, but basically tanking the gank by the neutrals.
Yeah.
Siamese Cat. He's going to dive to the other side. Yopaj is so fast with these boots of travel. Illuminate's going to connect. Tim's with the scatter blast, but the egg comes out, and that's going to force Boom to kind of sidestep Boboka there. And they're actually going to find the kill thanks to Tim's and that little shredder. He's going to get the scatter blast onto XXS, who's continuing on here, but it looks like this might have to be the sacrifice. Even a Magnetize is expended from Aster. It ends up being a 1-for-1 for the supports apiece.
Pretty low commitment from Boom, though. That's 3 Aster heroes down lot, and they also commit egg for that, which means they're not going to have it for the next fight. To be fair, it really depends on if Monet wants to get involved, whether or not the egg is going to be useful in these fights, because he can chrono the egg, and if you're not chronoing the egg, we saw what happened with the little shredder against the egg. It's a pretty good counter.
Yeah. Yopaj TPing out. Exorcism is actually going to be popped here, even though there's not going to be a defense mounted from Boom. So tier 1 should go the way of Aster. Monet. So he has Maelstrom. He got a casual Gloves of Haste, which would assume is going to be a Midas, as you can see. But he actually has Shard queued up. We'll see if he ends up going for that in the end.
Queued up the BKB too.
So is it just the casual gloves? I mean, this could be a bait, right? You see him going for Midas, maybe they get a little bit more aggressive.
Maybe.
But he can now initiate with the Shard.
Maybe if he goes
next level plays.
If he goes for Midas, then Jackie Boy goes for Midas as well.
Right.
And you bait out this timing where Jug is weak because he's got a Midas, he's building his items,
right.
and Void is strong.
That is actually, if that's actually happening, I mean, he's obviously probably just bought it and just changed his mind, but that could be a next level play, I agree.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. Because when I hear carry players talking about this Midas, like nothing has changed about Midas, right? It's the same item it's been for a long time. It is actually a timing thing that they're looking for. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of carries are getting Midases in response to other carries getting Midas as a solution, because they don't really know how to keep up with the farm or how to punish it yet. So
I mean, the only problem is he's been in the jungle this whole time with the Gloves of Haste.
This is right. He also just blocked the
shown
ancient camp as he was trying to go far.
Very unfortunate. I mean, his Shard is coming, so this indicates they might want to fight. Obviously giving that extra range and the reverse time walk, which we actually saw work very effectively yesterday. FBZ looking for the initiation, but Siamese Cat is too fast.
He's got those cat-like reflexes.
Yep, that's right. In the body of a Phoenix.
Farming,
he might have to egg here. Never mind, that little shredder does almost nothing, but the rebuke does.
And free mango. He got a free mango too from the shovel.
Did he shovel that? Oh, man.
He shoveled that up and didn't pick it up.
I think the shovel might have gotten him killed.
It may have. You can see the animation.
Well, that's a huge net worth swing with that 100 gold mango going to the side of Boom Esports.
That's right. That's right. That's a big one.
All right. Well, Monet still in the jungle, hasn't really shown himself. But you can see Jackie not really being baited right now, so has the Maelstrom himself and going for a Manta style next. So that'll obviously take off the silence from DP. Potentially, if there's an Ags on the Void Spirit in the future, the silence from that as well. So it feels pretty needed to dispel this game, even though we were talking about this yesterday, how Manta just feels kind of meh in general.
I think another reason Manta is good this game is because if you're showing on creep waves against a Faceless Void, you risk just getting chronoed, right? He's gonna jump out chrono you, kill you, and it doesn't matter if you spin TP. So the Mantas give him a way to shove out creep waves without actually showing on the creep waves.
FBZ with the arena onto huge mud golems, delicious creeps for him. Ori trying to turn this around. He's doing a lot of damage with the health, but there you can see that is the ult from Winter's Curse. It's not going to be enough, though, as FBZ still dies, surprisingly. It was kind of just stuck on the stairway. The Exorcism just finished him off despite the stun being pretty effective.
Yeah, a bit of a missed arena, actually. It was pretty high impact there.
Oh, Ori wants to go real deep. You can see he's extremely low on HP now. Has to dissimulate away. The Mortimer's Kisses are coming. Yes, the Astral Step to safety.
Prediction.
One more kiss is there. Beautifully done from Tim's. Takes out the mid laner for Aster. And now Scam kind of stuck here with the Magnetize. He's going to get cookied, but I believe he is going to drop nonetheless. So a 1-for-1, but definitely in favor of Boom as the TP out is successful here.
Radiant's middle tower
That
is
was-
under attack.
That was good stuff. Baboka, I can't believe the Earth Spirit ult was still going at the end of that. It's like he chained that for so many remnants. How many remnants does he have left? 3. Yeah, he that was a lot of
But prediction from the kisses were kind of insane, because that is like such a delay. Like typically you'd be one step behind a Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's like the moment that the Void Spirit landed with his Aster Step, there was already a kiss coming at him. And then the next one also predicting the way that he would go after his Void Step.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool.
I believe we have yet to see the Chronosphere
Are scanning.
Yeah.
from Monet, but still top net worth. So, I mean, if you're 18 minutes and your Faceless Void is top net worth, you're pretty damn happy with the state of things, I feel like.
I think it's pretty scary for him to show up to fights without a BKB as well. Like, he can get clipped by a Winter's Curse or Cookie. Maybe if Snapfire gets the Ag Shard. Like, there are a lot of stray stuns that can catch him. There's nothing that's, like, guaranteed lockdown, but if he's in the fight, he could get caught, and there's nothing that he's going to be able to do to survive. Because Boom does have a lot of damage right now.
Oh, the instant Yules. Very good reaction from XXS. He gets the silence off as well. And this Mars is just dead before any spells can be expended. My goodness. Obviously had that queued up, but geez, that is some high reaction time right there. Monet, Tims, looks like he's going to get initiated on. And the curse comes out from Skem on the high ground. Will this be enough as Baboka just beating the crap out of by his teammate, but he'll be able to roll away, and Skem will die anyway. So 2 for nothing for Aster. And Ori with that double damage, pretty fearsome right now.
That was a nice curse. I think, like, look at Wyvern's level. It's level 8 Wyvern. Tims is level 11 because he essentially got the solo kill on Ori with the Kiss prediction.
Oh, Yopaj would be a pretty damn big kill. Monet potentially looking for his first chrono of the game, but Baboka perhaps a little bit too far in. He's going to get Blade Fury down. Kiss is kind of wasted, but Aster's going to retreat.
Yeah, they were not really on the same page there. You could see that Monet wanted to jump out, but Baboka was like, "Yo, this is the mid caudal. Like, let's get this guy." And so, yeah, little bit off the same page. Maybe if they do commit, like, Monet obviously is valuing his life very highly right now because he's super close to his BKB.
Yeah, for sure. FBZ looking for Siamese Cap with a beautiful egg just in time. It's just going to get taken out by the little Shredder again. The hard counter is there. And look at this damage being applied to Ori. Has to dissimulate, but can't get to the low ground. Attempted TP. Unfortunate for him as a double kill from FBZ comes through, and likely the tier 1 tower will be next.
And Jackie shows up. Mid tower, low HP. They did fort it. This is a mid tower. You lose your mid laner. This is the consequence of that.
Yeah, Monet now has enough, essentially, for his BKB. That's going to line with the Manta on Jug. So shouldn't get caught out as much to these silences if he holds on to it. Is this a game where he needs to also go BKB at some point for Jackie? Always kind of feels on Jug.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I
guess with the shard build now, it's like leaves that open a little bit, right?
You're magic immune for such a high duration of the game, and you're omni slashing for 3.5 seconds. You're magic immune for 6 seconds. That's almost 10 seconds with an 18-second cooldown on Blade Fury. So yeah, I don't think it's necessary. You just play in and out of fights more against a lot of magical damage. Monet, though, he does have his BKB completed, and I think that's very important. This is why he's been so afraid to show up to these fights.
Yep.
Despite having this Phoenix Egg plus the Chronosphere combo, they've not pulled it off once because he just doesn't feel comfortable doing it. Now he does.
Yep, the casual I was going to say Hannah Midas. The casual glove still in Monet's inventory. It just reminds me of Arteezy with Wraith King starting that trend for quite a while. A couple years ago, as we have a smoke, it's going to be broken. Tims up. Monet has to completely backtrack here, not able to get off the timely Chronosphere. So both smokes kind of thwarted. As back to farming they go.
This appears to be the start of the part of the game where both teams ignore the entire bottom lane, because of course that is not where Roshan is.
Yep, Roshan is on top.
This is a change in how Dota has been played for the last, it's probably been about I don't know, 6 months to a year of people doing this, at least from what I've noticed. Like all teams doing this, most Div 1 teams, where the game is kind of split around the middle lane rather than around the river. Before, we would see a lot of like this Radiant tier 2 bot would die as Roche is being traded for the other side, but it just doesn't work like that anymore. Like nobody's willing to give up Roche, particularly because the Ag Shard on the second Roche is so valuable, and then the Refresher on the third Roche is insane as well. And people are also just better at using Aegis too. Like Aegis has always been OP, it's just people kind of sucked at using it.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of been figured out where the playstyle is very cookie cutter, I want to say.
It's cookie cutter.
Like once you get the Aegis, like, okay, let's group up a bit, get these outer towers, wait for the second Roche, and the second Roche is when you go high ground. As Jackie looking for Ori, obviously with a lot of mobility, attempting to TP out, and is fine.
This bot lane feels like the wilderness, man. Like, you only go down there temporarily.
Skem, this is a slow-ass death, as the Sunray will be the thing that actually kills him. Very sad existence for Wyvern. He does. I'm not sure if he wants to use it here, but see if Aster takes advantage to try to go for Roche. Obviously, Exo is their biggest asset here.
Yeah, they've got Exo, so...
And they're going to expend it. So 15 seconds on the Wyvern, who is probably the biggest thing to fear. Although there's the arena, there is the kisses, so obviously Boom have a lot to work with. And you can see they're TPing in the mid lane to try to contest this, but Roche is getting quite low. FBZ looking for a potential opening. He's going to break the smoke from Ori. He's going to get initiated on just to create some space so that this Roche can be taken. And it's being a little bit slow here. The arena comes out, but Monet he snatches the Aegis, actually. So I think the kisses actually netted the kill for Boom. But the Aegis, obviously the most important thing. Monet, the BKB, he's going to get speared right after, back into the pit because he can't actually be clipped into that cliff. It's a very special mountain for Roshan.
For some reason, yeah. Dude, XXS, again, he had the instant Yule Scepter onto FBZ, so he couldn't get the initiation. FBZ, he needs to pre-BKB. Like, XXS is just too on point with his Yule's counter initiations. That might have gone a totally different way if FBZ actually gets a spear off and then the kisses connect on the Faceless Void or something. Like, maybe he actually steals the Aegis, you know? But, yeah, XX is very good pick up on the Yules.
At this stage of the game, how big of a deal is it that Boom got the kill on Roche? Which I believe was the kisses.
I think technically, I'm pretty sure that Tims would get full XP for that as he is feeding it away.
Tims is dead.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but the chase is on. It looks like Boom's going to back up a bit here as the high ground ward is there for Aster. So Boom kind of working in the dark here. But yeah, how big of a deal is the Roche kill itself? I don't even know who's in experience range at that point. Might have been just the Mars, if anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. I really feel like the Aegis is the biggest part about Roche that's important. You see often, like, the net worth barely changes after Roshan is taken, but then the net worth in the time of the Aegis, you constrict the map, and then that's where you get a bunch of gold lead. So I don't think it's that impactful. It's like, obviously, you're more than happy to, a bunch of gold. Hell yeah, that's great. But it's nowhere near on the same level as the Aegis.
Depending on how the Aegis is used.
Yeah, I mean, if you use it very stupidly, then yes, sure.
I mean, we've seen it. It's been more rare these days.
Teams are pretty good at using the Aegis, I would say.
That sounds like a big curse to me.
Yeah, that does.
But it is Monet, so I think he'll be pretty good with it, as we're going to see the initiation here and the pick off onto Baboka. But Monet wants to fight? No. He's going to reverse time walk back. Still 2.5 minutes on the Aegis, as the mid tower is actually denied by Jackie, who is, he's actually getting pretty close to the Scotty, so his farm is actually top net worth overall. As I say that, it is Monet now on top, but basically on par with the Faceless Void.
And Jug, by the way, yeah, he did on Jackie go for the 5 all stats talent.
Yeah, we're going to see the arena and the spear. That is a dead Phoenix. No egg in sight. Just stun locked from the start. But Monet, are we going to see the first chrono of the game? Don't even need to use it to get Jackie. He's just dead. And Monet continue the right clicks. Going for the Mars now, as the BKB is expended. Still holding on to that Chronosphere. Doesn't feel like he needs it. His FBZ, his blink's just going to continually get canceled. And the Yules is there as well. Finally, the BKB for FBZ, but will this be enough to keep him alive? It's not looking like that's the case. So 3 dead for Boom, and all Aster lose was their Phoenix. And he is just holding on to this chrono. I thought for sure that was going to be a 2-man chrono there.
Have we seen one?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've seen a chrono yet. Yeah, I mean, you could see how long FBZ was holding his BKB in that fight because, like, he knew what's the point of BKBing? I'm gonna immediately get chronoed if I BKB, but then he just doesn't end up using it at all.
Well, he did use it at the end.
No, I mean, Monet didn't use the chrono.
Oh, yeah.
It's like FBC eventually was like, oh, I guess if you're not going to chrono me, I can use this.
Yeah, but he was already at like 20% HP, so it felt pretty difficult for him.
Yeah.
And maybe a little miscommunication there on the cookie direction, but
look, he's just not. He's
just getting kited horribly.
He doesn't want to BKB because he's like, why would I waste a charge of this if he's going to chrono me?
Yeah.
And then he doesn't. He just slowly walks at him, hitting him. Yeah. Jackie dying in that fight obviously was the big problem for Boom. I don't exactly know how you alleviate that because I feel like he kind of just got right-clicked.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was just a very slow and pathetic death for him.
He did not get off Omni Slash. I'm trying to remember how the initiation actually started.
I think he just died in Blade Fury. He gets caught by like the Void Remnant at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Great timing, I suppose, from Ori. Hard to pull off, but he could have just gotten chronoed anyway. It is a hard jug game going late. It's on his team to disable this Void.
Baboka on the high ground, breaking the smoke. And, we're going to see the first chrono of the game. It's going to be on the Coddle, as well as the Mars, in fact, as the Sunray actually going in addition to the egg, thanks to that shard, as the Wyvern dies and the Snapfire's low, but the double buyback comes in. FBZ gets the arena off. That is a potential big... Oh, the Omni Slash is reflected with the Lotus Orb, though, and Monet is staying alive somehow. Unbelievable. That actually saved his life. And the rest of Aster actually staying alive as a result of this. So 60 seconds of no Mars. 2 have died for Boom, who bought back, and all they get is an Earth Spirit.
That was
the Omni Slash actually kept him alive.
Yes, that was a super value Lotus Orb. Just at the right time that Jackie Boys gets himself omnied. Because that was a double Mars Spear. That was 2 heroes that were about to die. 2 very important heroes. Yeah, he's got the shard. Also, the smoke break from Baboka. I mean, I love that you can do this on Earth Spirit. This is so good. He tried, by the way, to do the spear into shield crash combo, where he would stay on the high ground.
But I want to see if he could have gotten this kill with just right-clicking instead of Omni Slashing.
Oh, no, that was not a double spear.
Yes,
but no,
he's dead.
He's dead for sure. He's dead for sure.
Man, that is insane. But some retribution here, potentially. Ori takes a tumble. That's a nice pick-off for Boom, but... See Monet looking to potentially fight. XXS has to pop his Exo, as well as the BKB, so mitigating all this magic damage from the Snapfire. The Opage and company trying to pursue, but they just don't have the speed, apparently. Baboka and company just resetting completely, and the Exo obviously feels a bit of a waste here from Aster, but either way, could have been a lot worse.
Boom's still looking, man. They've got their initiator smoked up here.
Yeah, FBZ leading the way with that blink. See if they can find anybody onto the high ground. Monet would be a juicy one, but the BKB is forced, and away he goes. Still a valuable charge.
He thinks he's stunned.
That's true.
He really thinks that he just got
Does that ever go away?
I don't know. I don't know if it does.
Oh, man, I would pay money for this attack animation. I'm not going to lie. That is great. You can't even tell what he's doing. That's actually an advantage to him. This XXS. All right, after all that, he shows up bot lane and now getting ganked. With the Spirit Vessel applied, Yule is buying some time for Jackie to potentially get the kill, but he blinks out, and he's away. Wow. Unreal.
Okay.
XXS, what a play.
Yeah, that was nice. Times it around the Illuminate, too. That was very close. I didn't even realize he had the blink.
Can we take a look at Faceless Void again?
Let's go back to Faceless Void.
So I'm pretty confident if he dies, then it resets.
So he wants to... Okay, good
so
that he's 1-0-6.
We're not supposed to play favorites, but I kind of don't want him to die.
No. I think he wants to die. He looks like it.
Yes, that is a face of somebody who does not want to live any longer.
Radiant structure.
That's
this
great.
is going to be very distracting. I wish we were on the B stream.
Yeah, the B stream would be perfect for this kind of bug in the game. Make sure to send your messages to Jeff Hill at valvesoftware.com.
That's right. That's right.
Very high priority bug.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Roche number 2 is up. As you can see, the creep wave along with a couple illusion just knocking on the door here. But Aster, I don't know, have they not scouted this yet? Honestly, could have sneaked it, but we have the vision and they don't. So looking for a pickoff to potentially open up that second Roche for themselves.
They're heading straight back.
He's moonwalking.
I realize what happened.
Actually looks more like a zombie as FBZ. He's going to break the smoke and blink out to safety, but you can see the astral step is there. He's going to catch Ori, though, and that is just a death for him. Monet looking for the potential Chronosphere, but his buddy's already dead. So Aster definitely losing this fight, and I think they're just going to have to back now.
Yeah, that was just Yopaj with the massive cast range on his Scythe device. This thing has been incredibly valued so far.
Time is money.
Going for the Ethereal Blade next as well.
Yeah, man, Roche is being pinged out, and Aster know that it's up. And we'll see if Boom can take advantage of this little opening. Jackie, he gets silenced, but there is the Manta into the Blade Fury. Sunray already expended as well. Watermir's Kisses is coming. FBZ kind of stuck on the cliff right now. Gets off the Rebuke, and they'll be able to take out Boboka pretty easily. And that's 2 dead for Aster. Yeah, Cookie off of the cliff now, so no RTZ impression for FBZ. As he actually gets the BKB force, so nice play there from Monet. And it doesn't look like the spear will connect, so is this enough for them to go for Roche? Because they're still Egg. They know that Exo's down, but obviously the Chrono. We've been talking about that all game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, as long as Monet is
big.
close. Oh, now definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a big moment.
Double damage on the zombie mode Faceless Void. See if they can take advantage themselves. They're going to spot Skem on the high ground. Arctic Burn is going to bring it back down, but this looks like a very easy one for him. So no Winter's Curse. 70 seconds, no Wyvern at all. So this could be the opening for Aster instead.
I do feel like Boom, they still want to fight this. I don't know if you want to give this Roche away.
Yeah. They take out the first illusion. Roche is already at half HP though. And Boom looking for the opening. FBZ has the arena at his ready, but the BKBs should be off cooldown for Aster. And there we go, FBZ. He's going to get the spear off, though. Is this enough to take out the Faceless Void? It is. The Sunray's not enough to keep him alive, but the Sunray's doing a shit ton of damage in the pit, though. And Ori gets to the pit. He gets stunned, though. He's going to end up taking the Roche and the Aegis and the Shard. So despite losing the Faceless Void, Aster will get the Aegis and a double spear into the arena. Holy Jesus. They find one and the Aegis. Ori, can he get out of this? He's going to get hexed immediately again from Yopaj. Beautifully done from Boom. Obviously not the best case scenario considering the Roche went to Aster, but they clean up pretty nicely after the fact.
I can understand all of the tipping from Boom to FBZ. He is completely carrying this game. The Roche pit, that's not even an easy area to hit a spear around. You have to hit to the tree that's outside of the Roche pit, which I think he did. I think that connected with the little tree, technically, or some little area, but that's a hard angle to hit. And then the second double spear as well. Not only does he start the fight and help with stealing the Roche, he also connects and makes it a three-man kill instead of just one.
Yeah, so while we've been watching this, Boboka does die, and the top Rax is being pressured by Boom, and I think this is going to be a freebie for them. Obviously without Monet for 22 seconds, and most important thing, of course, is I believe the animation will be fixed, but we'll have to take a look.
Yeah, so we'll make sure to
That's
check.
very important to check once he's up. So Boom get a full set of racks in the top lane. They get the tier 2 tower. Aegis obviously gone. Who did get the shard, though?
Middle tower.
See, Death Prophet has one. I don't know if he had it before.
Or I think
Phoenix already had it.
I think Ori walked in and took it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually consumed it, though.
He might have. So it's either the Death Prophet or
Death Prophet had a shard. Void had a shard.
Okay, so then it was
Ori then. I think it was him.
Okay, so they'll give the extra ring.
Oh, no, he dropped it. He dropped it in a base.
Oh, it's still in base.
Boboka's going to take it. Yeah, because he already had the shard. He's been using the big Dissimulates.
All right, so you're going to get the Stone Remnants providing ground vision, so that gives you Roche advantage.
Unfortunately, it is glitched right now. It does not give you the +4 bonus charges. When it first got added, you would immediately get 4 more Remnants, but Boboka actually has to wait for those Remnants to come off cooldown now.
I see. Well, Monet's animations are fixed as Baboka. He's going to get instantly hexed. Arena, not really going to catch anybody else, but it does segregate Baboka from the rest of the pack. Sunray not doing a whole lot here as Monet still looking for this Chronosphere. Might have to use it just on Jackie Boy. He's going to attempt it as Tim's on the outskirts. Now Monet pops the BKB, just doesn't have enough damage to finish off Jackie Boy, feels like. Manta style, and there is the reflected Omni Slash again.
Oh, he can blink
Jackie
out.
Boy does blink out, gets off the Blade Fury as well. Looks like he's going to be okay. Attempting the TP out, though, in the midst of things. He's doing so much damage in the meantime. Looks like he does get out just barely. And Monet not able to catch another TPing member of Boom Esports.
He reflected his own Omni Slash so that he could blink afterwards. That was insane. I've never seen a Lotus Orb, an enemy Lotus Orb used like that. That was next level. God. Dota's such a wild game, bro.
I mean, we've seen both sides of the Lotus Orb, I guess. This game, right?
Yeah. The instant sheep. Yeah.
Actually a pretty good arena, though, just blocking everybody off as Ori ends up dying in live here. 80 seconds of no Void Spirit. Feels like he's gotten caught out a few times. Pretty uncharacteristic for Aster.
He suicide for the DD. I don't think he wants Jack Boys to have a double damage.
Well, is it worth his life?
Is it worth his life? I would say probably not.
Yep, Jackie now level 25. Monet still working on his 25. He'll get it here. As we see the Dota plus win probability skyrocketing in favor of Boom. They have that top racks already, and it's a 5v4 for the next 50 seconds minimum. XSS, he's going to get instantly sheep, but the spear back into the fray. Looks like he's going to be fine. And this tier 3 tower is not. It is definitely dead. Probably denied, though. And Boom, they don't know about this buyback. I'm pretty sure. It's the Basher actually already there for Jackie Boy. They're going to take out Baboka, so 5v3, advantage Boom. A nice attempt for FBZ, not able to connect on the spear, though. Gets off the arena. Monet just bashing him inside his own arena, along with the Sunray coming through, but the Cold Embrace keeping him alive a little bit. It's not going to be enough, though. So finally a kill goes the way of Aster as Jackie just focusing on the objectives. Fortifications popped. Now Jackie feared thanks to the shard on XXS.
I think Boom has to get out.
Yeah, with the Void Spear coming back up, I don't think they can finish this melee racks.
No.
So Aster is successful defense, and I mean, the crazy thing, look at the net worth. It's so even
It's
right
close.
now.
It's very close. Yeah, I mean, Gem helps that. FPC jumping in. He did lose the Gem, so not sure what the cooldown is on that for them. Both teams probably need one at this point. That's just the prisoner dilemma of Dota. One team picks up a gem, you kind of need one as well. So they'll probably buy another one, which is going to be even more net worth.
So pretty nice pickup from Jackie with the Witchbane, by the way. So just another Dispel. You have all these silences. Like obviously you have the Manta, but you can only use it once in a fight. And with a double silence just from Void Spirit alone, pretty nice to be able to dispel yourself at any point.
Yeah, true.
What is the cooldown on that? It's 20 seconds, so I guess still once per fight. It's
pretty bad. Yeah,
it's not as good as I thought, but still.
It's good. I mean, he was using it for the Phoenix Spirits. Oh no, did they just get those? I think they just got these items. But you can use it for the Phoenix Spirits while sieging. That'll help out because those are a pain. Like he was mantaing for the Spirits as well and spinning. So it's a solid item. I mean, it does good damage as well. It's like it's an item that's will apply damage. Actually, it's bonus damage. So I don't think it works during your spin, because I think bonus damage is applied on your attack, which is reduced to 0 when you're spinning, unfortunately. But outside of that, it's good, and it's attack speed, obviously.
All right, so back to the waiting game for Roche number 3.
Yeah, here we go. This will be the Refresher Orb.
Or Ags.
Probably the Refresher Orb.
Probably. We've talked about this. Even though they say it's a 50-50, it's definitely more 70-30 Refresher
It's
shard.
a 70-30. It's a 70-30.
Maybe we can look into the game files later.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and check those out.
Maybe we can email IceFrog and just double check on that one.
Yeah, I think he'd really appreciate that email, actually.
Or Gaben himself. He does reply to everything at least.
He does, yeah.
Sheepstick XXS has enough gold, but obviously wants to save a bit for buyback. There's only 3 members of the entire game currently have buyback. Looks like this might be a smoke here from Boom. And Sheepstick online. So no buyback anymore for XXS. But the Sheepstick, pretty damn valuable. He is showing himself here. And Aster are ready for this smoke.
Oh, this Arcane Rune. You know both teams want this.
Yeah, Jackie's going to take it. Not too shabby on him as well.
No.
Can use 2 Blade Furies in a fight.
I kind of doubt that Aster is going to want to fight while he has this. They'll probably wait it out. I mean, it's a 12-second cooldown, 6-second match. Community on Blade Fury. I don't think you want to play into that. That's he's just using it for fun at this point.
Yeah, they're just overtaking Aster's triangle now.
Oh, this is cool. They're just running towards the bot lane, sending illusions because there's this double catapult wave with like a billion range creeps. So this forces Aster back into their base, which gives Boom access to Roche.
Yeah, but one Astral Step will do massive damage to these illusions. But that's damage you can't come back from on that tier 3 tower bot.
And look at Boom now. They've moved into position, and now they're taking away the wards that Aster were camping. I mean, that's really huge, actually, from them. They've secured themselves this high ground position. Aster wants it back, but this is tough, man.
This is a big fight because Roche is coming up in 40 seconds as Monet and company looking to try to aggress. The arena comes out, catches Monet. The egg does come out, though, with the Sun Ray, but Monet looks to be potentially dead. He is 100 seconds of no Faceless Void. Another Omni Slash onto a Lotus Orb. He's very attracted to that, apparently, and he gets sheeped, actually, so Jackie's going to be the trade. He does have buyback if he wants to expend it, though. He will. Tim's with the BKB inside the arena. Not able to finish off Ori, though. Not able to get the timing correctly as it assimilates to safety. Looks like he's going to be fine.
Both carries
XXS getting extremely low. Looks like he's going to finally drop. So no DP. And yeah, Monet apparently found his buyback during that time. Must have been really close on the gold. And Baboka looks to be TPing away, but this is now a 5 versus 4, and Roche just spawns. That's a refresher. As we said, 70-30.
70-30, of course. FBZ is going to get another refresher orb. That'll be fun for him. Actually, pretty good on Jackie Boys, I feel like, as well. Although I don't know if he has the slots for it. Well, what would you drop? He obviously needs the Aegis, considering he just bought back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're pinging that Faceless Void is missing. They want him to be the focus target. I like that in that fight, Boom, they could have turned and focused the egg, but they realized that the higher value kill would be Monet. And that even though the egg was going off, they still had the damage. They calculated they had the damage to finish off Monet. Yeah, the egg pops, but without a carry Faceless Void, who gives a shit? The egg doesn't matter. Your carry's dead.
Yep. So refresher shard on FBZ. Double arena, quad spear, I guess you could call it, kind of.
Maybe. All right. Well, actually, he's got 6 spears. He's got a refresher of his own.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Is Jackie now focusing on the barracks. Monet trying to bait things out. But the focus looks to be on Baboka. He's taking a massive amount of damage inside the arena, in between, in fact. That looks like it really hurts. And down goes Baboka. Monet, nice BKB to dodge the spear from FBZ, but Jackie, again, just focusing on the barracks. Egg comes out, but there, Tim's jumping in. Can he do enough damage to take it out? One more hit. That is a dead Phoenix. Buys back into the game. Another arena. Monet is caught. This is going to be a dieback on the Faceless Void. Double kill for Tim's, and Aster look like they're going to drop game number 1, and Boom doing a great job overall, but Ori, he's not done with it yet. Takes out Skem. Gem on the deck, but the buyback's coming out from the Winter Wyvern. Spear barely not connecting on the wall there as Ori looks to be limping away, but Jackie trying to focus on the DP. Scatterblast going to stun XXS, but FBZ looks like they're going to get Baboka on the backline, trying to roll out, but the last bits of damage won't be enough.
He evaded
Illuminate comes out as well, but Skem looks like he's trying to finish him off himself, but XXS, this is going to be a dieback for him. 4 dead for Aster. GG's come out, and Boom. Man, what an entertaining game. Game number 1 goes to Boom.
Yeah, that's a good one. Lots of
good one.
Lots of cool fights. Good fight. I'm always happy to see that, but I also feel like strategically, Boom was just making the better calls that game. Like the fight where they chose to kill the Void instead of killing the egg. Whoever made that call, shout outs to them. That was a game winner. Also the call to go with the Catapult's bot and push that in and then take the high ground. That won the game. That got them that kill on Monet that made him have to buy back. It's just insane from them. Top tier gameplay.
Yeah, very entertaining game as well, but Aster, they end up losing it, so Boom, very important win for them, which I'm sure the old ball and chain and panel can discuss right now.
Thank you so much, Jenkins, and to my ex-husband, Sons fan. Well, we had a very fantastic performance here from Boom. Manages to take the team fight heavy lineup that Aster had and just do the same thing. The strength of the Mars with the Snapfire, my goodness.
I have never been so upset in my entire life watching a game. It feels like Boom learned how to play Dota gradually over the game. Instead of coming out strong, they came out horrifically weak. I think Yopaj was getting out-farmed by a Faceless Void on Coddle. That should never happen. There was lots of misspells, some misspear. This fight here on the screen, I think FBZ tried to do you spear and use your rebuke, and it's meant to like stop the momentum of the spear, but he just speared Phoenix away. There was the save on the Faceless. I was crying, bro. I swear to God, I was crying.
This right there, the best play of the game.
It made Aster lower their guard. They're like, these guys are clowns. And then, I don't know, they flipped a switch. Suddenly they were hitting all the spears. They were taking the best fights. There was an amazing Lotus Omni Slash to get Blink out to safety. Like, oh my God, they just started popping off.
It's also some of the item progression obviously helped out for Boom. I thought that this game was heavily in Aster's favor early on. Like they had a super fat Faceless Void.
Yeah.
They had early load swords that helped them just like that. I feel that Jackie, he should have just forgotten about the Omni Slash. Maybe it would have worked better. he would get easier kills really. But load swords on one side and a refresher on the other. That refresher really came in clutch on FBZ. The moment you get that, you get to pop the double BKB, the double arena as well. It kind of changes the dynamic of the fight. I expected Wyvern perhaps to be doing a little bit more against the Chronospheres early on, which wasn't truly the case. Scam would get caught, but overall it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
Like Sheep said, I couldn't have worded it better. They progressively became better in the game. They just learned.
Yeah, I mean that was the notes that I had here. It's like, oh, they're so disjointed right now. But like the Roche, I think, was pretty pivotal as well. For when Aster tried to do the second Roche, that almost felt where things really just completely fell apart for them. Even with the buyback on the Mars, Boom, they just managed to take it. And we're seeing on the screen, Yopaj, MVP. Look at that,
my boy.
One small item after another, right, on the Kotl. You get those travels, then you get the urn. I love how even the Windlace, this hero for me has, I love Kotl.
Yeah.
Been playing in mid forever, like even before, I'm a hipster Kotl, you know. And I just love the fact that they buy the Windlace.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as like we have MVP of the match, item of the match perhaps? Because I know you've been talking about like how impactful these items have been to really balance things out as far as perhaps if a matchup might be stronger on one side.
What do you think, Sheep? Maybe a Lotus Sword for this game?
For memes, the Lotus. For actual answer, the Refresher. Like FBZ, like I said, when he plays this Mars, his whole focus is lockdown. It's not carrying, it's not doing damage. He just wants to stun you for as long as possible. And he does that with the Refresher. Like that fight near Roche when they catch Monet without him getting his BKB off. Really, really good. They, yeah, like I also really loved when they were getting the Roche originally. Remember that spear back into the tree, and like Jug blinks to the outside of the pit and spins to get that down. It was so nice, so nicely executed there. Spellcasting got way better as time went on.
Well, there you have it. So let's see if Boom can keep up that momentum, shake off their early game issues perhaps, and take this series 2-0, but we will find out after this break.
Radiant victory.
What did I say? Yeehaw!
All right, I've got FBZ with me from Boom, and we are going to spend $15 on creating the ultimate Dota team in his eyes. This is quite a challenge, so I'm going to give you the pad here, right? You can look at what you're going to choose with. Who do you think you're going to go with first? You know, you got your carry in there, you've got $15 total. Do you spend a lot on that? Do you spend a little?
For carry, I will definitely choose Ame. Yeah, okay. I'll go with Ame.
So you're spending the big bucks on the carry. You got $10 left. Who's going in mid?
I'll choose $3. Yeah.
$3. Okay, so we're up at $8 spent so far. Why BZM?
BZM, maybe because he's like space-making mid laner, and it fits well with Ame, which is like who always carry the game in the late game. Yeah.
I like this. It's very smart thinking already. Okay, who's going in your off lane?
I'll get KP. Yeah.
Saving some money.
And I mean, I respect him also a lot. Yeah, he's one of the best offlaner in Southeast Asia. Yeah.
So at the moment, you have spent $10 total. You now have $5 to choose your supports. You're going to have to go a little bit cheaper here, potentially. How are you going to do it? Where are we going with a soft support?
Tough choice.
Now it's hard.
So I only have $5 left.
$5, yeah.
So I think the best choice is I get crit and solo for hard supports. So,
okay,
yeah.
Why did you go to spend $4 on crit and then just limit yourself with $1 for solo?
I mean, if I get SEP, it's too expensive, $5, and I don't have money. Yeah. And the rest is it's okay. Maybe phosphor is more important. Yeah.
Okay. I like your thinking. So, in terms of you who's put this team in a world ranking, the next TI, where would this team finish?
Top 3 if they have synergy. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Top 3. Let's see if they get it done. That's our first $15 team. I think you did a good job of that, man. I like it.
Power can be found in any number of places. Scientists will tell you that it comes in newtons. Gamers will say that it can be found in silky skills. We will say that the power lies in real thrills, in the play with perfect ping, in the runes and crystals, in every frag and gank, in your personal winnings. Lock and load for PGL Arlington.
Splendid.
We just saw Boom work really hard here, taking down Aster in game number 1 in this best of 2 series. Now, Boom, it's absolutely important for them to win their matches if they want to stay in contention for the upper bracket for their group here. Now, we saw how amazing Boom performed. They had their Wyvern, they had their Snap, they had their Mars, which they do very well with. Aster, they tried to ban out some of the comfort picks from Boom. Would they have enough bans to try and address some of these issues that perhaps maybe they weren't too familiar with or seeing during their region matches?
It kind of depends. Like, they banned the Viper, right? Which obviously is a big problem. I think it was the most banned, one of the most banned heroes in Europe, at least. I know different regions, but still, that's the one stat I remember. I've seen Fnatic in the past when they played against Boom. I think they opened with like a Pango plus Mars ban because they just recognize that if they shove FBZ to something he's less familiar with, he can underperform. Like, I think if they ever first faced him, Razor, that usually went a bit rocky. He's just not as good as other offlaners like Amar playing the carry, the big ol' I'm gonna kill you instead of I'm gonna stun you.
Yeah, I feel like if I can fanboy over Boom a little bit like Sheep did before.
Not allowed, just kidding.
I think they have enough in their arsenal. It's not only like a couple of top tier heroes, but there are layers there. There's S tier, there's some A double plus tier or what just underneath it. They also can play a lot of different strategies. That's something that I really like about Boom because of their captain, because of Scam. Like, this guy has been leading teams in SCA for a really long time. He had his stint abroad and he went back and he makes... I don't know how Boom did it, but they pretty much gathered, in my opinion, the best talent of the region.
Yeah.
In one squad.
They got Mushi as a coach. That's massive.
Speaking of Mushi as a coach, as we look at this opening from Boom, just talking about those two heroes that are addressing their team. I mean, there's a bit of history there. As far maybe I'm aging myself here because Aster's coach is Lanham, and that is Dota history with Mushi, Lanham, DK back in the day. Oh. Okay, just that's my little fangirl moment for me right here. So to me, yeah, as far as like both teams are concerned and who they're involved in and what help they're getting, I think you couldn't ask for like anything better. But yeah, I mean, Snapfire, Mars, opening for Boom.
All the boomers right now in the
chat. All the boomers, let's go. Yeah, join.
Lana Bush, yeah, finally some names we recognize.
Thank you. Yeah, don't worry, I got you guys. I got you covered. But
Team Aster.
I mean, Aster kind of like doing the same thing. Earth Spirit and the Wyvern once again. I mean, okay, Wyvern, sure, flip-flopping sides doesn't matter, but she has been so... like, I wouldn't say contested, but just so high value so far this event.
We kind of went with the fluff a little bit too much as we have a lot in the opening, but Boom, they're not messing around. They knew they're not gonna get this combo in second stage.
They do this. They get the confidence. They take it up.
And why wouldn't they? Because that Mars, it looked like nothing really can stop him unless his Juggernaut Omnislash is someone that's slow to soar.
Yeah, I mean the picks did change too. Like they have the second pick. Right, so last time they just had that jug at the end of first phase that was really nice and like countered what Aster had. Now we're just gonna be running with this. I love it. Honestly, I love it. I just think they should always try and take this when they can. It's what they've looked best at. We've talked to Boom when we were covering them, and Yopaj said that, yeah, we were experimenting with some new stuff, and it just wasn't going very well for us. So we've gone back to our old ways. So like, honestly, just stick to it.
The only problem that I can see with that is one thing that you can take out of the Chinese region is that they adapt extremely quickly. So you'll see teams play 3 best of 3s back to back and just constantly flip-flopping between who's the winner, right? Because they all have skills. that are very, very closely knit. Like the skill levels are very close between every and single each team. But they adapt to strategies because of that.
Yeah, and speaking of comfort picks for the side of Boom, right? Yeah, like they let it through this time around because we saw Mirana banned early out last game. Now she's available, she's locked in, and has it just been Boom doing the picks and the first ban was last game? Like, is that the stat here?
I mean, they're just getting their comfort is great. This Scam is a wonderful 5 for the team. Like, this patch especially, he's been playing like he'll take you know, heroes if the draft idea changes. He'll take the new heroes. Like he was playing very nicely with Clock this season. He's just reliable. He'll just take any hero and usually does like pretty damn well.
That's a bristle into a Mars as well. You already have the spear to turn him around, which is pretty neat. You have someone that can build a vessel on like the Mirana can, but it's still a bristle. It's still pretty broken right now. It's still pretty strong, and I didn't mention the puck. Like they have no catch from Boom Esports at the moment. For this is a free puck game, and we've seen so many first phase pucks.
Oh my god, they got Ember Spirit for Yopaj as well, guys. I'm be real with you. I think this one's over for Aster.
Is it done cheap?
It is. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
First of all, you can leave. You can leave. Every single player on Boom, bar Scam, who's kind of, he'll just play whatever. They have their best heroes, I would say. The literal best hero. You don't get better draft than this for Boom. This is criminal. And not only is he playing like his super comfort Ember, but it's versus Puck. Puck has 1 armor. Yep. You just max your slide him in lane. It's a hard struggle for him.
Right?
Yeah, it's super.
Do you think that it might be a problem with against Puck and Earth Spirit? There's silences, there's ways of breaking the coil, ways of ganking him early.
There is. I think the nice thing though is Boom also have extremely mobile supports. Yeah,
I knew exactly where you're going.
Thank you. Yeah, you're gonna see Mirana like maybe they'll go like chains into an arrow. Maybe they'll just bring both supports for runes because it is an Ember versus Puck matchup. You'll see Baboka there too. Bristle probably can just be left alone. It's just gonna be very much on the support movements who does better, I think.
So we have on both sides a lot of mobility on the supports. We can gank mid very easily. We can make that lane much easier for either of the 2 mid laners, Paj or Ori. Yeah, and in the end, what are we expecting for Boom? Some carry, right, versus the Bristleback.
Yeah, they like to. I mean, Jackie usually just kind of sits and farms for a while everyone else like goes crazy on the map. And I do love this, by the way. The Coddle felt very passive. The Ember, usually you'll see Yopaj just diving towers and going insane. So this should be a more like action-packed killing game.
I was doing the SCA like last year's seasons, right? You were doing the SCA this season.
Yeah.
Has anything changed when it comes to Medusa? Is it still like top tier pick? Every team gets it if it's a good Medusa game.
Yes. So Jackie, in season 1 of C, he was on Motivate Trust, and every single game in first phase they picked him Medusa. Every single game that they could
so
get
nothing has changed. Jackie is the same. He changed his nickname from Jackie to Jackie Boys, but same thing. Okay.
Yeah. So that was him. In Tour 3 they were giving him like Lifestealer all the time and stuff instead. But it was like Wraith King and Medusa were like his jam. So I don't think they should play it, but they can.
I mean, it's all about the comfort picks right now on the side of Boom so far compared to what the standard strong meta lineup that Aster seems to be rocking. Yeah. But it's going to come down to like with the Boom last pick. I mean, I know you said that Medusa might not necessarily be as viable, but there's still like other options still in the pool. Like something like a CK is something that he's played before.
There are some crazy ideas like PA with the break, with the shard as well.
I can tell you what I don't want. I don't know if you've heard the legend of Jackie's Ursa.
Oh my God.
But oh god, I think Ursa is a really nice option against these big tanky heroes. You want to claw through it, right? Unless you do your Roshan. They would lack tower damage if they picked that, actually. But Jackie has like a 0% win rate on Ursa this event, and he struggled in the DPC with it quite a bit too. But they keep picking it for him, so they believe in it.
We have fanboyed over Boom quite a bit. I have to say that Aster's draft looks like one of the most complete drafts that I've seen.
Yeah.
In every aspect, from taking objectives, taking decent fights, having that heal that's necessary, sustain is there. I feel like sustain is extremely important in the current meta. And you have two heroes that are extremely tanky on your core positions, plus a Winter Wyvern to back that up.
Two very mobile heroes as well.
This Ember needs to have a lot in order to be able to chew through those.
I think you are right. I forgot I was not meant to be biased when I'm working.
I mean,
oh, that's for caster.
Right.
Panel with
I can do. Oh, okay, cool. In terms of like heroes, yeah, I still feel like they haven't addressed the Bristle in terms of damage. So
they don't have a lot of catch still. It's just the Ember.
And they have catch. They're gonna put like the arena down, and everyone's gonna be in it. Like you have Ember and Snapfire that are gonna help you do AOE damage inside that, but in terms of actually just like cutting through the Bristle before he kills you all, this could be an answer.
That could be.
Right? It could be. With the Shard as well versus all these tanky boys, and Jackie on his Bloodseeker, it could work.
Yeah. When I saw Arteezy play the Bloodseeker, he was able to get involved with his team as well at like 8 to 9 minutes to 11. I think if Jackie's able to do that as well, when you're playing with Yopaj, you get FBZ's Blink. That's their timing. That's when they'll run at Aster. But
so it's. I said this earlier. I'll ask again now. What do we favor here? The comfort picks or the strong meta picks right now on the side of Aster?
I stole the show last time. Sheep.
I mean, I'll never bet against Yopaj Ember. It's just not a thing. Like FBZ's mod, like I can't say no to this. But I do agree with you. I think Aster has an incredibly strong lineup. They get to the Bristleback Axe timing, and that's like nightmare mode. They need to like find ways to play with that.
All right. Well, there you hear it. We'll find out soon enough with our casters up above. It's Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Thank you very much. Game number 2, Jenkins, Sunsfan here. Boom, they won game 1.
That's right, they did.
It was a
about
very
15
good
minutes
game.
ago, yeah.
It was actually it's been more than 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Time flies when we're hanging out together, of course. But I agree with the panel. Aster's lineup, like if you could pick maybe the Earth Spirit, obviously it's Boboka is special.
Of course.
Outside of that, all the other 4 heroes have been picked or like
Very
contested
meta.
every single game, it feels like.
Yeah, that's true. I do think Boom though their draft it's not. I mean it's still good against the Aster draft. Like they have Mars, which you can make Bristleback face towards you. That's honestly a pretty hard counter. They also have Bloodseeker, which a lot of people have been picking against the Bristleback because of that pure percentage-based damage, and Bloodseeker against Death Prophet. That is not a fun hero to play against if you're Death Prophet. You play off of running people down quickly, haste and move speed. You rupture Death Prophet. She feels bad. She dies. She feeds. It's a good lineup for Boom, I think.
And Lizard brought it up, but the Shard on Bloodseeker, obviously the pure damage coming through with Blood Rage, obviously pretty damn good against the fatty McGee that is Bristleback.
Yes, it is.
No offense to Bristleback lovers out there, of course, but I'm sure you're disgusting yourselves. Let's be real. So game number 2, in terms of the stakes, Aster comes in before this series at 9-3, so now they're 9-4, but still secured the upper bracket, while Boom kind of towards the middle, but they were still technically tied for upper bracket
high
at
middle.
6-6.
They're high middle.
High middle.
Now they're pushing themselves into the top tier territory.
If they 2-0 Aster, first of all, that's impressive in and of itself. But this might be enough for them to get the top 4 secured.
I think so.
I don't think it's like a mathematical thing, but there's a good chance.
I think you're right. I think you're right about that.
Thank you.
They're definitely, at least with how the series has gone so far, I think they're pretty happy with themselves going into the playoffs. Boom is looking very strong, and obviously so is Aster. They've finally, after so many events of people asking for this, especially the Chinese fans, Aster is coming onto land and destroying people.
That's right.
Which has been the Aster curse for a long time.
Well, China has been destroying people.
China has been destroying people.
The other group, there's another team called PSG LGD, and they seem to be almost unbeatable. The only team to beat them is Sonics, who have barely won any games to begin with, so I'm not sure how that happened.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yes, the old Quincy Crew Blues on land, sadly. Not sure what happened in that second game of their series earlier today, but they really needed that game 2 against Fnatic. But they were down 5K when we started.
That is right.
This, so
that is right. You never know.
It's not looking good.
You never know with this game. Feels like a lot of teams are very close these days.
Yeah.
At least in terms of individual skill. Like everybody's very high skill. It's just a matter of strategically are you, and mentally? I think the mental issue,
makes the biggest difference.
It makes the
biggest
difference. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, in this game, if you compare it to a game like basketball, everybody's LeBron James pretty much. Except they don't have, like, they have the body of LeBron James. Like, they have the mechanical skill.
Yeah, which is a tier 1 body.
They don't have, that's a tier 1 body. They don't have a brain, though, like him, because he is a genius as well. As you can see, Siamese Cat just barely living throughout this. But FBZ, that's a lot of stacks of Quill Spray. One more will do it, but the Spear keeps Monet at bay. And now he's just going to continue farming. Now, in terms of the build from this position 1 Bristleback, I expect nothing different than we've seen. We talked about like the Soul Ring Vanguard into Ags. Sometimes you go for Hood in between, depending on how the game state is. Do you see any please tell me we're going to see a switch ups.
I don't see why. You know,
yeah.
Why fix what's not broken? It's working.
I wonder what the win rate is of Bristle at this tournament, because the games that we've cast at least has been kind of bad actually, right?
You think so?
Yeah, you're gonna say the opposite.
I was gonna say the opposite.
I feel like a lot of the games we've cast at Bristle hasn't done a whole lot.
A lot
of liquid games.
We're also not remembering who we casted like 15 minutes after. Yeah. So.
But just to remind you, this is Aster versus Boom.
Okay.
Right now.
We are in the game.
Yep. This is the A stream, of course.
So
sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry. They did pick the Bristle into Mars. So even though that is a counter to the hero, they're still comfortable enough that I think a lot of teams, especially a lot of carry players, have the opinion that Bristle is just OP. Like, there's no beating this hero's Aghanim Scepter timing. How many times have we seen him one-shot or two-shot a support? It's like every fight, once he has the Ags, because he's constantly at max, whatever his ultimate is called.
For which hero?
Bristleback.
Warpath.
Yeah, Warpath.
Yeah, that's a good skill.
It's a nasty one.
So what makes Mars a good counter against Bristle is the Spear just allows you to reposition to hit him from the front.
The Spear literally turns Bristle to face wherever you speared from. So it's like almost disables the passive for the duration of the Spear.
Yeah, pretty strong. So does that mean that they're not going to need a break? Or do you think a Silver Edge is going to be picked up by Jackie at some point?
I think it's always worth doubling down on countering the Bristle just because he's that strong of a hero, but not early. You don't need to rush a Silver Edge. Maybe it's like a 6th item or something like that.
6th item.
5th or 6th, yeah, something like that.
As we see Yopaj in the middle against Ori again. Puck versus Ember. I'm not even going to ask you how this matchup goes because we've seen it about 1,000 times. So we'll just move on to another lane.
Can't go to another lane. Go look at FBZ got his Mars again. I am a little shocked by that.
Yeah, he played so well last game.
After his performance last game.
I mean, I feel like, especially being around a lot of these teams in the past, when you have a performance like that, the other side, a lot of times they feel like, hey, that's because we were out of position. Like, yes, he played well, but we can actually play around that next time. We just won't make the mistakes that we made. Like, these are like micro mistakes a lot of the times.
Yeah, which I think is true, but it's also an argument of, like, he's always in position to punish those micro mistakes. So if you feel like you can't adjust to fix those micro mistakes, which is very difficult between game 1 and game 2, then you just ban it. But yeah, like you said, this just shows the confidence that Aster has that they can fix it. Because boy, did he destroy them last game with it.
Yeah. I mean, Boom were down for a good chunk of that game, and it felt like the arena, it was just like a guaranteed catch on somebody.
Yeah.
It was super well played from FBZ, and I mean, there is the other aspect where it is a comfort pick as well, right? So maybe trying to take that away from them, but I mean, a lot of these Chinese teams have been dominating. They've been letting, like, if you look at PSG LGD, that's the perfect example. They've been letting a lot of things go, and they've been picking really out-of-meta heroes that other teams can't pull off. Like the Earthshaker, for example, has just looked... I mean, teams have won with it, I guess, but it hasn't looked good as Earthshaker.
Yeah.
But it has in the hands of LGD.
I hate to always... I mean, it always feels like cliche to compare a Chinese team to Wings, but they really do feel like Wings 2.0, which I do believe makes sense.
Has been killed.
You're talking about PSG LGD?
Yeah.
Oh, Faith Beyond, yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty insane. But of course, Aster, they've always dominated within the region. And I'm happy to see any curse be broken. You know what I mean? It means that they've overcome. Which is always great to see.
Well, they are secured upper bracket, but that's all that's secured so far.
We'll see, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing about these lands. Once you get to the playoffs,
different ball game.
The teams are playing against everybody at the start. Then they kind of focus down a little bit when the group stage starts. And then when it gets to playoffs, you know ahead of time who you're playing. It's one team. It's not like 2 teams in one day. It's a lot more
gladiator
focus.
Right. It's a duel.
Gladiator.
It's like gladiator. Yeah, it's like a duel
okay.
between 2 entities. It's really like a Texas showdown.
Oh.
Except those usually happen in bars.
Yep, Tim's looks like he's going to drop, but Yopaj comes in to try to get a collateral here. But the first blood is going to go the way of Aster. Of course, it is a trade for the supports. But the gold, Aster will be quite happy with that. Yopaj stealing a rune here.
Who got the regen? That was Ori. So
yeah, that is a good one to get,
that's
no
a good
doubt.
one on Puck.
And Ori sitting on 44-3 versus Yopaj's 41-3, dodging that very nicely. So pretty dead even mid lane, especially considering that the ganks that came, both of them got essentially the same amount of XP, I believe.
Yeah.
FBZ already level 6. This feels pretty damn fast. I feel like he's been left here solo for quite a while.
Yeah.
Same with Monet. He's not that far behind.
I think this is typically what happens with Bristle lanes now, is that everybody knows Bristle's going to be left alone, and so they just leave some offlaner that's fairly safe alone versus the Bristle. And with Mirana, you can do this because she can arrow jungle creep. She's got level 2 in arrow. Wyvern's been stacking. So it's just kind of like the top lane has become 2 lanes.
Yeah. Now Monet, he's pinned to a tree. Arrow set up as well. He does have this. Okay. That's a lot of damage coming out, but Ori comes in with a nice coil, and Monet is going to stay alive as a result. You can see the early Fairy Fire already popped by Yopaj. Nope. They actually do find the Bristle with that last sleight of fist, and he had a remnant on out of there as well. So Aster looked like it was going to be a good turnaround, but boom, get what they came for.
Okay, FBC's a beast, man. We'll watch this.
He's going to get Waning Rift. Orb to follow. Spear out. Yopaj. Arrows coming as well.
I think he's dead.
Ori is super dead here, but the last kick from Baboka takes out FPX, who was going on a killing spree there. And you can see XXS apparently goes down in the bot lane as well to Jackie.
Dude, FBZ in that fight was like standing in the wall while coiled, and it was blocking projectiles. I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I know you could stand behind it, but he was, like, inside of it, and it was blocking projectiles just barely.
Yeah,
As
Tim's super dead.
Yeah, he has no leaps left. That level 1 leap, pretty weak. But FBZ, yeah, that was like, look how he stands on the wall here. I'm pretty sure I saw it blocking the projectiles from Ori, and it would have been just enough to probably finish him off. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's blocking. And then he walks in when Ori orbs over to the other side. Like, that is just such a nice use of the arena. And then he survives to hit the spear, which follows up to the arrow, and Ori goes down. Like, that's just such nice Mars play. The amount of stuff you can do with this hero, like, it's such a deep hero with all the mechanics that it has.
No doubt. Scatterblast in the bot lane. XXS has the Exorcism. Ori gets off the Waning Rift onto 2 with the coil to follow, but is there going to be follow-up on top of that? XXS getting right in the thick of things to try to take out Skin. That seems to be their main focus right now. He does drop. As we see, Baboka will drop to the Sleight of Fist in the river. But Jackie's more than fine. Gets off the Rupture. Blood Ride's going to be dodged by XXS. But Tim's has the setup if he wants it. And don't think he's going to go anywhere. That's this Rupture. So double kill for Yopaj. Nice rotation from him.
Like that Tim's just holding the arrow. Just because he knows that XXS is standing there waiting to dodge it. Hit the arrows. I think he can probably just TP out. So he just holds it. Level 3 arrow too, by the way. He's playing entirely to stun.
Okay.
And it's also like a farming build because 17-second cooldown.
I mean, he has a spear setup. He has the Searing Chains, which is old school for the mid lane.
Bloodseeker Rupture, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Cookie, kind of.
Yeah.
So makes a lot of sense to max that. FBZ and Yopaj. Yeah, Monet feels it coming though. So away Yopaj goes. Getting off the Searing Chains here. As Baboka looking to contest this rune that will not spawn here. It will be that bot lane. As Tim's gets the regen. Baboka and Ori getting pretty low here. But the nice silence onto Yopaj. Searing Chains on the high ground. FBZ gets the spear, but
nice
just
try.
off. So Siamese Cat will survive.
It's weird hitting these skill shots on flying units because Yeah, it looks like you would catch them, but they're just, you know, in the air. Z-axis in Dota is very strange.
It's because of the camera angle.
That's right.
Monet, he's going to get 3-shot if he's not careful. FBZ with the defensive spear. So based on how the laning stage has gone, would you say it's gone better for Boom than you were expecting?
I think their lanes are pretty good. Like any Bloodseeker's just such a strong laner. If you have some harass lanes, which they do, Mars and Ember. But Aster also, they've got Bristle. Like this hero's always gonna at least 50-50 a lane. Puck is always gonna 50-50 too. You just shove the creep wave out. Yeah, I think about even is kind of expected.
Yeah, Monet. So he's got the usual Tread, Soul Ring, Vanguard, and Ags will be next. And the question is, will they be able to align that with any other items on Aster that have like this big power spike potential? Normally it would be like a BKB, but you're talking about a Puck and Death Prophet.
Yeah, in XSS,
Death Prophet will eventually get one, I assume.
He's going for the Yules first this game, which is what I saw a lot of Death Prophets doing once the BKB was nerfed. But then people started going back to it. Back to the BKB first. So XXS opting to go for the new meta build, I suppose. I think it's... If you're playing against Bloodseeker, like, BKB doesn't really do anything, but Yules does. You need total immunity versus that Rupture.
Yeah, they're scouted out, the Moonlight Shadow, but now out of range of the sentries, so looks like Boom are fine to walk away. Halfway to his blank for FBZ, essentially. Has some pressure this mid lane now. Oh, the coil from Ori. They're still on the high ground here. Arena is popped. Mortimer's Kisses is there as well. The Cold Embrace actually sets it up better than anything. And Baboka super dead. Tries to get the roll off, but the burn damage is too much. Searing Chains onto 2, but the Exorcism already being activated means that Boom are going to try to get out. Scam attempting to TP, but the right click's too much from Monet. A 1-for-1 for the supports.
FBC just walking directly towards the enemy base, knowing they're not going to chase him. He TP's out. Nothing really comes from that, other than, I guess, trading of cooldowns. The supports dying doesn't matter that much. Probably Exo's a bigger cooldown than Arena, just because it literally has a longer cooldown. And, but the Arena also, I do think the Arena sets up for, like, the Snapfire Kisses and the Arrow, so...
Yeah, for sure.
It means that this is going to be, for the next, like, 60 seconds... Just chilling.
Yep, and Jackie's going to be happy with the chillin' because he has his Maelstrom now, so the farm is going to start growing exponentially for him as Aster smoke up. And Yopaj
just getting there.
Arrow with the Searing Chain set up. Bloodright not going to hit Monet. His TP comes in a little bit too late. Baboka's going to get the stun off onto Tims to start. And this looks to be an easy cleanup, so it's a 1-for-1, but you can see Yopaj actually trying to keep Ori busy. Has his Remnant out, and it's going to be fine.
FBC's getting some good damage on the mid lane.
Yeah, it feels like they've been preoccupied a lot in these like little tiny engagements that have been mostly supports dying. FBZ TPing out. All right.
Okay, he's fine. Baboka does have level 4 and Rolling Boulder, so that was a necessary Searing Chains. Otherwise, FBZ dies. He trusted his teammate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Yopaj has basically a recipe away from BKB at this point. As the Orb of Corrosion, and now the double damage, so see if they want to fight with that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty big rune on Ember at this point. Yeah, unless you're killing him, I don't know if Aster wants to take a fight while he has this.
That's the combo right there, but Searing, okay. The Cold Embrace, Mortimer Kisses, but the Force Staff, okay. Or actually, that was the kick from Baboka.
Yeah.
XXS will survive, and I believe that's because of Baboka. It might be a sacrifice for himself. Not quite enough damage. So Aster get away cleanly, but the silence into the coil for Yopaj. Do they have vision? Not quite yet. There we go. And he's going to get silenced and brought down. So absolutely punishment coming from Aster here.
That's some nice team play from Aster. They had each other's backs in a lot of different little mechanical plays there. That was cool. That was really cool. Baboka even rolling back in to provide the vision so that they can catch Yopaj through the Mirana ult after they saved him. Yeah, that was cool.
And Monet.
He's very close.
Yep. 1,300 from Ags, and these stacked creeps will help him get closer to that dream.
Oh yeah, kill that Ice Shaman first. That pathetic, disgusting creature.
Yeah, but does such pathetic damage. The damage over time.
Doesn't even give a lot of gold either for killing it. It's just...
How much would change if these
Look at that.
creeps just activated their abilities no matter what? Spear. Nice pick off here on the Baboka for Boom. Jackie trying to secure this tier 1 tower, but Monet is a pretty juicy body in the way of it. See this. Siege is doing a lot of work as well, but Monet with the deny.
What tier of body is Bristle? I feel like he's pretty low tier because his
passive does
because his passive is so OP. If he had high tier stat gains,
it's not like a tier 5 though. It's
no, it's not
4.
a tier 5. It's probably tier 4.
Coil top lane with the Waning Rift for the silence. Ori looking to get the solo kill on the Tims, but the wand keeps him alive a little bit longer, and the Crypt Swarm secures it for XXS. Monet just runs right by FBZ. That's interesting. Gets off the arena, but the spear will not hit. So FBZ have to walk away in shame this time after such a brilliant performance in that game 1.
Okay.
Siamese Cat, he has his curse available. Will have to cold embrace himself, but that sets up again the Mortimer's Kisses, and FBZ gets his revenge with the spear. But the silence, Cookie, onto Yopaj. Lets him buy a little bit of space here. Gets off the Searing Chains on Monet, but you can see the Rupture on XXS, but he's going to pop that Yules to avoid a little bit of damage. Gets speared to the trees anyway, as Yopaj trying to finish him off, but he doesn't have enough damage at this point. And FBZ looks to be the one that's falling instead, getting extremely low. But there will be the trade for that Death Prophet at the very least, so 1 for 1. As Bloodright comes in, he's going to hit 2 heroes. Double kill for Jackie. Boy. And now the chase, not sure if you want to go for Monet, despite being low. Close to that tier 1 tower for that extra armor buff as well. Moonlight Shadow, I think Boom wants to continue here.
Jackie's TPing out. He's really close to his BKB. I think Boom is just poking. They're just trying to be annoying.
Yep. All right. He's going to get Searing Chains, but he's going to use that coil. Actually dodges the arrow there. That might end things, but Monet comes to the high ground. Scam. Yep, the curse sets it up, so they cancel the TP, but in the end, it's just a support. But Monet does have his Aghanim Scepter online and already 1,000 into his BKB, so that's a scary bristleback. But BKB for Jackie Boy yet to be delivered, so big power spike for him.
And I assume Jackie Boy will be getting the shard soon, shard next probably. I think. I feel like until Monet has a basher, I feel like Bloodseeker wins the trade. He drops the recipe because his courier's unfortunately dead. He's going to have one of his supports bringing it out for him.
They have a very even game again.
Yeah, every trade is like a support for support in the equivalent position, or offlaner for offlaner. Like,
yep, pretty much.
Nothing going either way.
And Yopaj, I mean, they're aligning a couple BKBs at roughly the same time, so Boom. Have a bit of a power spike in them if they want to try to take advantage.
And Tims is very close to Vessel, which against Death Prophet, who heals, Bristle, who's a big boy, Wyvern, who heals. This is a pretty important item.
Yeah.
Wraith Pact for who? Skem. He's going to go Wraith Pact on Snapfire.
Okay.
That is one way to make your Bloodseeker win the trade against enemy Bristleback, is just offset it by 35% damage.
That's right. I mean, how often do we see people go kill the Wraith Pact in the middle of a fight? Is it, like, how big of a priority would it be for Monet?
It's 30% damage, by the way, but it happens.
It's a certain amount of hits, right? It's not HP?
It's they've reduced the hits by 1, and then it's a lot bigger now. And the gold that you get from it is instead of 25 or whatever it was, it's 100, so it is actually worth hitting. I think these days, like, Puck and Death Prophet are going to hit it. Wyvern can also hit it from far. So it's like one of those things you use, enemy team like goes on it, and then you AoE stun them while they're going on it. Like Enigma Black Hole, we see that built on Enigma a lot. Or like Snapfire Cookie. Or you use it when it's like a 1v1 trade with the carry. Like if Bristle has to turn and attack a Wraith Pact 3 times, that's like 1,200 damage that he's doing to a Wraith Pact in those 3 hits.
Right.
That could have been on
waste.
somebody else. It's a big waste. well, maybe not a waste, but it's like you'd obviously rather just not have to play into the Wraith Pact in the first place.
And like you said, Spirit Vessel just a few hundred gold away for Tims. And I mean, that is one way to deal with the Bristle without having any kind of a break. You talked about the shard onto Bloodseeker, but it looks like he's actually prioritizing the Scotty, so that's another way to reduce the healing coming out onto Bristle. Are you surprised that he's not focusing on the 1400 gold shard instead? A big juicy item in Scotty?
It means it's safer. It makes him tankier. He's not gonna die to some like Winter's Curse. He can actually get his BKB off. It also means that he thinks that they have enough damage currently, which with Mortimer's Kisses, yeah, sure. It's been doing a lot of damage.
Yep, they do see Siamese Cap, but the Searing Chains onto the Mud Golems instead. Wyvern looks to be A-okay. Now Monet has his BKB, so have yet to see a fight since these BKBs have really come online for each team. So both of them seem to be kind of happy with the state of the game. Just progressing for their next items.
This does feel like Dota on the last couple of patches. It's like
BKB waiting.
Yeah, you wait for BKB, they get one BKB, you're like, okay, we gotta get our next BKB. Then somebody else is close, and they're like, wait, I almost have my BKB.
Yeah.
And then you just wait till 3 cores on both sides have BKB.
Yeah, FBZ he kind of dropped off in his farm, but do they have enough for Baboka? TP's coming in, the arrows there, as well as the Star Storm, but they don't have enough damage, I feel like, so they're gonna have to back now. At the very least, they forced out some TPs. Jackie Boy, he's here as well. Tim's gonna be able to leap to the low ground. Yopaj in the area, gets off the Searing Chains. I really don't know if they want to fight. I think this is just like posturing at the moment.
Yeah, like FBC's the only core that doesn't have a BKB that wants one, so he's being very safe.
Now we have a smoke from Aster, so they want to fight. But it was under the guise of a ward here from Boom, so they definitely have an idea that this is happening.
And Boom's just going to stand on a high ground. Arrow into Roche, just in case that was a potential play that was happening for Aster. You know that once Bristle gets Ags, it's like Roche dies in 3 seconds once you get those stacks on him, so you always have to be around there. And once again, we're at the point of the game where the bot lane just becomes the wilderness. It's the place nobody really wants to go. Heroes just go down there to casually shove it out, and he's got a Remnant elsewhere, and everybody's going to go play around top. Like, bot lane is just to kind of take a vacation to, but then everybody's going to head back up top.
And Monet doing the same. Back into...
Push the lane out.
That's the nice thing of having the Remnants, though. You can do this with very little fear of actually dying. But Ori catching out Tims. That's going to be a freebie for Team Aster. So 30 seconds to no Mirana, but not really enough for Aster to really try to go for a Roche play. And I think that Boom is waiting for this BKB for FBZ, because ever so close. Always a recipe away, it feels like.
That's right.
All right, we got the double ultimate orb, so Scotty pretty damn close for Jackie as well. Only 800 from finishing it. Another smoke comes out. Yopaj gets stunned. Silence to follow, but the BKB is there. And Arena coming out from FBZ, so it looks like they want to potentially fight for the Cold Embrace. Again, setting up the enemy, Mortimer's Kisses. So down goes Baboka. Rupture was used. Monet trying to walk it off. It is a bristleback, so he should be fine. Although Boom, continue to pursue. Nice waning rift, going to stop the potential initiation coming in from Yopaj. So again, the teams are so even.
Yeah,
it feels like
they're just not giving away any big kills. Both teams are doing a really good job getting out when a fight is clearly not going their way. And both teams are also close to key items that they want, so they're not willing to full commit to a fight. I definitely get it for Boom. It feels like for Bristleback, he exists in this type of archetype where if you just don't die to this Ags timing, you win the game.
Yep, so another support pickoff here for Aster.
Middle tower is under attack.
I mean, at what point is it enough to go for Roche? Is a Snapfire enough?
No, because he has buyback. It's just support kills on both sides. I don't think that's enough, and they don't think it's enough either. They're still posturing around mid.
Yep, the arrow's set up. Into the Cold Embrace, though. So he's going to be perfectly fine as the coil snaps, and that is a bigger kill than we've seen in the last 10 minutes, it feels like. Onto FBZ, who he's yet to get that BKB for himself. Yopaj trying to take out Boboka, uses a couple remnants and will be successful, but that's a position 3 for a support.
That's exactly why FBZ has been playing so scared, and he's been, obviously in both games, a big part of the initiation for Boom.
Yep, and this is going to be a potential roast for Aster. Obviously no Mars for 20 seconds. Arrow connects. Cold Embrace into a Blood Right. They have a lot of answers for this Cold Embrace, it feels like. One of these stationary targets. Still half HP. Yopaj scouting it out with the Sleight of Fist. Mars up in 8 seconds. Arrow hits on Roche this time. That's going to help out Aster a little bit. And Ori looking to try to take this. None. Looks like they get the Aegis. Aster with the Roche as well. Might cost Ori his life, though, on this puck. Gets off the phase shift. BKB already activated there. None trying to get this Bloodseeker, and the Crypt Swarm is enough, so Jackie Boy completely punished here. Now trying to turn around to Yopaj. Nice layering of the silences on him because the BKB's already been expended. And that's 3 deaths for Boom. And they give up the Roche. Aegis still intact.
Ori on the flip side of that fight was... Oh, he actually hits the coil.
It snaps. Waning Rift.
No detection.
Moonlight Shadow just ends.
Boboka, he's got
out,
some.
and the roll misses, so Tim's is okay.
Ori was distracting all of Boom except for Jackie Boys in that fight. He was very close to dying multiple times, using his phase shift to dodge Sleight of Fist that would have killed him, to dodge an arrow that would have killed him. Also, there was some kiting happening from Siamese Cat, also helping him out in doing said wasting of time for his team. And in that time, Boom loses Jackie Boys.
FBZ desperate to get this this BKB.
Yeah, you can understand why, because we saw how much Aster focused him in that previous engagement near the tier 2, and then that leads into the Roche because FBZ is so important for the team fights. So you can see why Boom has been playing so scared, because their worst fear actually happened in the game.
So what do you think? I mean, is this a strategy from, like a mindset from Aster coming into this after FBZ had such a good game on Mars? We'd question whether they should leave it open to him, but they've kind of shut him down. Like, this is a really late BKB that he finally finishes. I mean, last game he had Shard at this point. He was on his way to Refresher already.
I think you're right. I think they've realized that if he's... I mean, at this point, it's definitely obvious. If he's not setting up the fights for his team, it doesn't feel like anybody can with this draft. But he does now have the BKB, but instead of playing with the 1k gold lead, he's playing with a 7k deficit.
Yeah. Monet, full stacks on the Warpath right now, level 21. The Abyssal Blade, Exorcism by XXS. Can Boom even defend? They have all 5 members, but that last fight was pretty lopsided in favor of Aster. Focusing on the melee racks now. FBZ gets off the spear. It connects onto the Death Prophet. Immediate Abyssal Blade, though, as FBZ gets off a little bit of a late Mars Arena. Nice Yules dodging a ton of damage onto XXS, who now pops the BKB. Jackie forced away in retreat, and the melee racks is already down in favor of Aster. And they can just walk away relatively safely, and they lose literally nothing other than some cooldowns. There's a nice curse as well in the midst of things, kind of just stopping the initiation attempt from Boom.
Just pausing the fight for XXS to survive, which, by the way, I really like his build. Yule's BKB Heaven's Halberd, it's so difficult to kill him. The status resistance, making it so the Mars Spear is lasting like 1.8 seconds or something like that. It's barely any duration, and while he's stunned, he has this HP and evasion to work with, and he can Yules himself for even more immunity while he's healing up. XXS feels very difficult to kill in this game.
Yeah, so does that Monet Bristleback.
Yeah.
He has died once, but 6, 1, and 3, and his net worth is not even in the same stratosphere as anybody on Boom. 4K alone between the 1 and 2.
Yeah. He would be living on Venus there.
Venus?
Everybody else on Earth.
Okay.
Are you thinking Pluto?
That's not a planet, unfortunately.
God, don't start this again.
Planet X, I think is the one.
Yeah, that's right. That's the 9th planet.
That's right. And Monet, only a minute left on the Aegis, so Don't believe they're going to push their luck.
Holy shit, look at that win probability. Okay.
94%.
That's quite a lot. But Boca, he's looking. He's got a roll up.
Oh, no. Good attempt from Baboka. And I believe he has his BKB on the way, so even he has a juicy amount of farm.
Yeah, there it is.
So 9K lead for Aster, but from the side of Boom, I mean, it's too late to have all your hopes on FBZ get off these beautiful initiations because he just doesn't have the farm, as we've already talked about. So what is their plan B exactly?
Plan B. Well, not this.
Yeah, we got the Yules set up. Immediate Abyssal Blade, but the BKB timely from FBZ. He misses the spear, though. Now has to run away in shame. But there, the Rupture onto Monet kind of keeps him in place, so FBZ is fine as a result. Now there's no Rupture to work with, and doesn't have that second charge yet because he's only level 21 at the moment.
Yeah, that is a full retreat from Boom. Aster thought maybe they would stay on the high ground, but nope, they're right back into their base.
Yep, Monet, even without the Aegis, feeling pretty invincible at the moment. The Exorcism from XXS is actually not that far away from his AC as well, as they take the tier 3 tower. But will they go for more? Doing a little bit of damage to this melee Rax, but you can see the backdoor protection kicking in temporarily. And now that the Exo's getting a bit low, nice dodge to both the arrow and the blood, right?
he's stunned to the back line.
Yeah, he's behind the up, Searing Chains.
That was almost something.
And they're going to smoke up. This would be a really important fight if they're able to be successful in taking it. Knowing that the Exo's down, obviously still have to worry about every other spell, though. Curse still available.
Yeah,
Coil as well.
They're trying to find Siamese Cat on this Winter Wyvern. I don't feel like Death Prophet or Bristle or any of these heroes will die if you don't catch the Wyvern first. He's also got a Glimmer. They're going for the full wraparound play.
Yeah, Boom knows where they are, though. They've already highlighted in the mini-map. And if Boom loses this fight, it might just be game 2 for Aster. Yopaj showing himself. There's the Searing Chains, but the BKB... Oh, the arrow actually goes through him because of the BKB and hits the Death Prophet instead, but she's going to be perfectly fine. The Yule setup, trying to go for the Abyssal Blade, but Yopaj able to maneuver his way out of there. And how the hell did Skem get over here? So that's going to be a cleanup for Aster.
There's some Benny Hill chases going on in this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And so just the support goes down for Boom. Aster honestly just positioned incredibly well there to break that smoke. They had heroes on every high ground that were okay with being the one to get gone on. They covered every possible entrance that Boom could have taken. Baboko was the unfortunate candidate that broke the smoke, has to pop his BKB, but they do end up getting a kill for it.
And now the AC online, so the push is going to be even faster from the side of Aster. That's why their name is Aster. I just realized.
Is that that's why they named themselves that?
Yeah, they're just faster than all the other Chinese teams, I guess.
Yeah. Usually just within China.
Yeah.
But now they're fast.
It's interesting how that works, right? Like you can dominate so much within your own region, then when we go to international play, you kind of
right. They get better at international play when they're stuck within their region for an entire year.
Yeah.
Because that's how, that's very strange.
It is odd.
They've broken the curse by not breaking it.
Whatever the hell that means.
I don't know.
And now Monet working on a Satanic. Not sure if we're going to get to that point. Moonlight Shadow, Boom, trying to set something up. Monet would be obviously an enormous kill for them. Arrow connects as well, but there's the curse to try to counteract as much as possible. But you can see Monet getting extremely low. Pops the BKB finally. Has the Abyssal Blade going to use onto Yopaj. Monet kind of stuck in these trees right now as he's continuing to get chased, and he will be brought down along with the Wyvern.
Oh,
there's the arena with the FBZ spear on top. XXS and Baboka kind of stuck on top of each other. So several kills in the favor of Boom as XXS attempting to TP out. He will be fine. And they did lose Jackie in that engagement. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, Ori just kind of beat him in a 1v1. They were beating the crap out of each other. He tried to spider legs over a cliff, but Ori made the prediction and caught him.
So still, I mean, overall, a good fight for Boom, for sure. Set up by the Moonlight Shadow and the nice positioning overall here.
And, well, yeah, you see the counter here. the fact that he's facing towards them. So Snapfire's doing the side damage, which is only 20% reduction. Now he turns his back, and all of a sudden he's impossible to kill. Eventually does go down. Yeah, that's a huge kill. The double spears have been so nice from FBZ. The double spears are a lot easier to hit when you don't have to be the person to initiate the fights.
Yeah, for sure.
Which he's been doing both. He's been initiating and hitting the double spears after the fight starts.
Oh, Tim's is going to lose his life in the meantime. I believe Coil was expended for that. And Roche is now up. Pretty good timing if they can scout it out.
Just a support. Dead,
True.
though. Jackie will be alive.
They do scout it out now. But of course, they take it so fast that even just the 5v4 might provide them enough confidence to go for it anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Boom would already have to be set up. I mean, Monet's not quite there yet, so it's giving Boom a
Are
little
we
bit of
going to see
time.
Hairball? Let's get some Hairball
what
action.
else is there? I think that's probably
XXS's
He's
shard
got his.
already. Yeah, that's probably the best one on their team.
It'll be Hairball.
Love me some Hairball action.
There we go.
Very
That's good.
nice.
Oh, yeah, belch that up, you disgusting pig.
It's very nice.
Good.
So that'll help him get his stacks up. I mean, it's funny that they've been dominating so much in this game, and it feels like he's kind of been stuck on his levels a bit. I feel like he should be level 25 at this point. Skem. We found out here by Baboka. There's the Hairball! Oh man, that's a lot to chew on. Tell you what.
That's one way.
I don't know how that compares to a hairball from like a cat. I mean, this is a pig. I don't know how that works exactly. How does a pig get a hair?
Kind of doesn't make any sense. I mean, quills.
Yeah.
How does he swallow that?
He has some hair, for sure. It's just like a guttural thing. Maybe they just couldn't use the word vomit, so it's really just hairball.
Yeah, vomit is banned. It's a banned word.
I guess so. Fortification pop. They don't have their Snapfire, but the buyback is available at the moment. Monet just going to sit in the blood right. And with that Exo, they're going to secure their second set of racks, and now trying to maneuver a bit, but FBZ with the spear and the Rupture Yules, but XXS gets off his BKB. He's kind of stuck here now as Monet and the rest of his team kind of stuck inside this arena. XXS getting saved at the last moment by the Wyvern, but there is enough magic damage to tear him a new one. The Snapfire BKB, or the buyback I should say, definitely paying off. Here's FBZ. See if Boom can try to pursue any further, because Aster obviously not wanting to fight in 3v5. But at the end of the day, they still got that second set of racks, and there's still plenty of time in the Aegis, so not the worst case scenario for Aster overall. And they're actually positioning themselves to maybe try and fight, which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I am... Okay, yeah, they're not going to go for it. I was going to say, that's a bit risky. I don't feel like they need to risk the game like this, because the thing is, it feels like Boom has been playing really well for the last like 10 to 15 minutes, but it's like a little too much, a little too late, where these beautiful spears are resulting in really crucial kills, but Aster is so far ahead because of their good early game that they just get a set of racks while they're getting these kills. So it's like, if this same thing happens again, it's just going to be megas. And it doesn't matter who's dead on the Aster side. They'll probably have buyback because the Goldie that they have. So it's like the next fight, even though Boom has been playing it pretty well in these team fights, they're going to have to do something miraculous in order to have a chance to come back.
Well, FBZ's not that far from Refresher, so that's going to be the double BKB, double Mars Arena.
I hope he buys out. I hope he just goes for it, because I think they need to.
Yeah, I would agree. So, yep, just 50 gold away. Taking that farm away from Bloodseeker. All right, and this should be a bit of a surprise factor as well.
Get him smoked up. See if he can get those backliners.
Dire's bottom tower.
Scam with the the amulet there.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Does he have Shard on the Snapfire?
No.
No, not yet.
He's not really getting close enough with this build.
That's true. All right, we got the Exorcism trying to go for the Mega Creeps. BKB forced already from Yopaj. Aster extremely happy with that. But we have the FBZ initiation. First arena is down, but the Abyssal Blade keeping him in place. But XXS on the other side of it, he looks to be basically dead. But another arena comes through, and now the right click's coming from Jackie Boy. He's going to be able to get the one kill, make it two, but that's just the Aegis. Buy back onto the Wyvern. Bloodright to follow. So obviously the double arena already coming through. The bash actually hits, and it's going to be enough damage to take out Monet. 5k lead now only for Aster, basically cut in half, despite having the 2 racks advantage. So nice hold from Boom.
Yeah, I mean, amazingly executed team fight. Yopaj went in and jumped the back lines while the Spear Arena, even though it didn't connect on the Barrack, which I think was what FBZ was hoping for, still, it was enough to win the fight, to just separate it like that so Yopaj could go and jump the backliners.
Oh my. Okay,
Ooh.
we have a refresher on Jack.
4 ruptures, although he's really out of position.
Oh my god, if they find this, there's no way he has buyback right. He has to pop the refresher just to get off his BKB. Rupture to follow Baboka. And the bash is there, so Baboka dies. Does have buyback, obviously. The fact that he had to pop refresher just to get the BKB off obviously doesn't feel that good.
Killing Baboka does feel good, though.
Yeah, that's a feels good moment for sure.
Oh, Yopaj, he's got Siamese Cat.
Yeah, we got the Searing Chains to come. Curse, but the arrow is not enough. It doesn't connect, but the spear does from FBZ. Always in the right place, the right time. 70 seconds of no Wyvern.
The game is going to be...
Are Boom doing this?
It's going to be back to even after this tower. In fact, I think they're going to have a gold lead. Like, once they farm some creeps.
Yep.
Aster's stuck in their base.
No Wyvern, and they know this is a dieback because he bought back semi-recently. So 60 seconds, no Wyvern. No reason not to go for some juicy buildings here. Fortification is popped. And Boom, playing the disciplined way. I would assume they stay on the high ground here and maybe try to catch somebody from Aster. But yeah, they gotta worry about these creeps in the bot lane.
You know, Boom, after the last few fights, I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves in terms of even if it's a 5-on-5 engagement. Like, Bloodseeker with 4 rupture charges in the late game. This is no joke, man. Like, this is he went for the percentage damage talent. Yeah, of course he did. So it's a ton of percentage pure damage, and he's got 4 charges of it.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow setup. XXS. He's Lotus, so they have an idea this could be happening. FBZ. Now that he's got these items online, yeah, they have the vision too.
I think he kind of wants to wait for the refresher. It's so close. He's got 18 seconds on the cooldown. Like, you know he wants to hit that double arena spear.
Yeah, that arrow comes in, and still no idea that... Oh, they actually see the smoke as well. A lot of information from Boom. See if they can take advantage.
FBZ.
Aster going to the high ground. FBZ could get off a monstrous arena, but the first rupture comes out onto XXS, but he's going to rupture himself, does Jackie, because of the Lotus. Yopaj trying to focus on the Wyvern, but the curse is only applied to him. FBZ is caught out, though. That's a huge kill. Like you said, does have buyback as Ori's Eon Disc procs. Coil only on the Mirana right now, so just focusing down the support.
Dude, Yopaj is in the base. Storm. He's killing the supports in the base.
Yopaj is cleaning everybody up, apparently. 2 for 1, though. And the buybacks will not be coming from Boom.
And he's sextuply remnanting out. And he's fine. He's fine.
Man, that was a really weird fight. Very segregated. Obviously, Boom wanting to focus down the Wyvern makes a lot of sense. They had to force the... I mean, it was a curse on a single target, not what you usually want.
No, Yopaj has been... He's been such a pain in the ass for Siamese Cat this game. And I think it's what he needs to do. We saw the early game what happened when Wyvern was being left to his own devices. Getting off these cold embraces on a hero like Bristle, on a hero like Death Prophet. There's no way they're going to kill any of these frontliners unless Wyvern is dead. So the team fighting from Boom has been amazingly played. They also save FBC buyback for that last fight. I could see him being very tempted to buy back there because that looked like a game-ending fight.
Yeah, the fact that Jackie ruptured himself obviously
doesn't help.
It hurt him quite a bit in this fight.
And look at Yopaj. Like, Wyvern is so far off the screen now. Baboka has to go back to help him on the top right because Yopaj is just in the base, killing him anyway. Uses about 12 remnants to get out.
All right, and I think... oh, it's actually a semi-late spawn on Roche, so 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the old refresher shard, unless we got the 30% Ags game coming to us.
If there's game 3, then we'd have the Ags.
Yeah, that's true.
This
based on the odds there.
Death Prophet refresher, not bad. Puck refresher, also not bad.
Aster scans this out, but Yopaj gets an arcane
juicy rune.
That is... I think he'd rather have this than any other rune at the moment.
I think you're right.
Double damage doesn't do as much.
Refresher Cayenne
Oh, but Tim's getting caught out. And this proc. Here comes FBZ with the first arena. You see Yopaj coming in with all those remnants. Not a whole lot of damage done, but you can see XXS stuck inside the arena getting focused. As Siamese Cat idle to get there in time, and finally gets the curse off. His buybacks come, but Baboka trying to roll out of the arena, not going to happen. Monet extremely low and completely surrounded. Jackie Boy with the double kill. 2 buybacks from Aster, and Monet could follow suit if he wants, as FBC limping away. Ori comes in with the overwhelming blink, trying to finish off the Mirana, but he's actually ticking down. He does to the Witchblade. Oh dear, that is a sad death for Tims, but still, buybacks are retained here for Boom, but Aster not so much.
It really feels like this game is Ori versus the world, because these other cores are just getting ruptured and they're getting speared and dealt with. XXS doesn't get to play Dota. He had to buy back in that fight. He didn't get anything from the buyback.
What do you think of this, though? Still a 70% win probability for Aster.
Oh, that's a load of shit. No way.
I agree.
No way.
That seems
this Bloodseeker,
a bit off.
Dude, he's doing so much damage. There's no way. And it scales. This is percentage pure damage. There's absolutely no way. Is it calculating based on Roshan spawning and knows it's going to be an Ags? It's like, oh, Ags is really good.
We'll find out.
What is it? What is it? Oh, it's the Ags!
All right.
All right.
But they don't have Monet available. As they're actually going to find the Snapfire. One more roll will do it. In fact, Ori, that's a gem drop into the deck, but immediate pickup on the curry. That is super fast pickup. Baboka able to TP out. And Yopaj, I mean, 3 dead right now as Mirana finally revives. Waning Rift. Yopaj has to get his BKB. That hurts a lot going forward because this Rosh is going to be very important for the game state. Might have to get a buyback on the Snapfire, but the rest of Boom are up.
I know this is like a very minimal thing, but Baboka just bought Tranquil Boots super late into the game just so that he could get back to the fight quicker with that extra move speed.
Very nice.
It's so small, but it's cool because he has no buyback, right? So he's just trying to look for items that he can buy.
Do you agree with Boom giving this up? They're not even going to try.
It's a hard decision to make. It's a really tough decision to make. I think both decisions...
It's got to be a puck Ags, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, it's
so Waning Rift will push back, reveal Invis, and
it's a big radius on that.
Pretty damn good.
It's very good against Mirana ulti. I think that's a big reason that he wants this here. It can also deward these high grounds.
Yeah, and he's obviously been 25 for a while, so the BKB piercing coil as well.
Yeah, he got Waning Rift cooldown talent too, so it's a 4.25 second duration with a 5.3 second cooldown. That's insane. That's almost permanent silence.
All right, Gaben knew that the Ags was there.
Actually, I think it is permanent silence because he's got the Timeless Relic, so he's got 20% debuff reduction. It's very, very close to permanent. It's like 5-second silence.
And even Monet setting up for the future. Has a Satanic, will be consuming his Ags once he has enough for the overwhelming blink. Or I guess once he just has a regular blink. So we're getting to the ultra late game, 48. I hope we get the 60.
I know. Don't say it, bro. You're going to jinx it. You can't jinx it like that.
I've only had a couple of these in my career, and they're real memorable.
They're good. They're juicers. Good. Yeah, they're nice ones.
They're real Gaben milkers.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, I got that Gaben's nectar tonight. That's... Come on. Come on, Gaben. Give us a 60-minute game, please.
Well, I think if this Aegis does not turn into Mega... I mean, even the Mega Creeps, they can defend. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, I wonder if Aster, if you ask them right now, what do you think their gold lead is? What they would say? Because 5K at 50 minutes is not it's pretty negligible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they know they have a gold lead right now, but if you ask them for the last 10 to 20 minutes, they'd say, "Oh, we're behind."
Yeah.
Even though they weren't, it was kind of back and forth. Or close.
I mean, it does feel like they're behind, but they do have Aegis now.
Yeah, they do. They've got 2 lives, but this this 4 ruptures. This shit's a problem, bro. I don't know how you deal with this. You need Lincoln spheres, like Lotus orbs. Puck now has an Eon disc. I mean, it's not like Ori was really the one that's getting jumped. It's the problem is XXS and Monet are the ones getting jumped, and Monet has nothing to deal with the rupture, and not a single thing. No status resistance, nothing.
Well, Aster with the smoke. And these racks are exposed. Monet just going to walk in the old-fashioned way, considering how beefy he is with the Satanic, so extra Dispel. Obviously, the lifesteal will come with it. I mean, being able to dispel things like Searing Chains, if he really wants. He's going to get arrows. He's going to get ruptured as well. Cold Embrace, though. Healing back up to full. But the spear back from FBZ, and you can see...
Yopaj on the back lines.
Yes, this right clicks are doing a lot of damage to Monet. He pops the Satanic, but I don't think he can withstand the right clicks from Jackie Boy. The BKB pop from him as the quill sprays are starting to be too much. Wyvern is taken out by Yopaj on the backside. Very big kill, but the buyback comes through. And Monet still ruptured.
He's still ruptured.
And he is extremely low, but they're not going to be able to find the catch here. He has the cheese as well. He's just going to pass it off.
Oh, the bottom barracks went down to just a bunch of ranged creeps and a couple of catapults.
Was it just a range racks, though?
It was just a range racks, yeah. But still, I mean, obviously Aster wants to siege top. If bot was still alive, it means there's no megas.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you get the range racks, why does it not upgrade to catapults?
That's a great question.
It's real. I always found that really weird.
You can ask Gaben when he emails you because you said Gaben's Milkers on a live major broadcast.
Yeah, sorry about that, Gaben. I appreciate you, of course.
Set up that reply button when he fires you.
It's been like that since Dota 1. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I think range barracks could use a buff. But it's so funny that in this game, the fights keep going the exact same way for Boom, and it just keeps working for them.
Yeah.
Yopaj just keeps jumping the Wyvern on the back lines. He had to buy back last fight. There's a lot of couriers going down. This is about animal slaughtering action going on.
All right. All right, I mean, this Aegis, it looks like it's just going to go out. So, Aegis advantage no more. He might hold the heart. He might hold the cheese, but then again, the bristleback Mr. Monet has 6k gold. So, the Blink Dagger, I mean, it's important if you get initiation, but he's getting Rupture. You're not going to be able to use that too much if you're going to take 4 Ruptures.
I'm trying to think of an item that he can get. Like, Lotus seems kind of scuffed. I feel like he's just going to get ruptured through the Lotus, and it's worth it. Or he'll get disabled before he gets it off. Lincoln's, there's too many Lincoln's breaks. Sanj and Yasha, there's 4 ruptures, so it's not like the status resist is really going to help you that much. I think that's why he's going for this overwhelming blink, because it at least lets you like choose. Okay, now I'm in the fight. Like rupture me, sure. I'm killing your supports anyway. Like I just want to stand here.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a different way to play the fight.
And Jackie, I mean, his courier going down, he was trying to maneuver it in a way that, because they haven't been able to get out of their base, he really needs to get to the secret shop to finish Abyssal.
Yes, he does. I think he has enough gold for buyback and the Abyssal. Yeah, he does, so he wants that. To be honest, I thought he had the Abyssal already, considering the bashes that
he's attacking quite fast.
He's attacking very quickly. Oh, man, Boom.
Smoke up from Boom with the Moonlight Shadow to cover.
But
this is a repeat. They did this.
There is a ward here, though, and they see it. They see it. So, okay, yeah, they're going to deward it.
But they were smoked as well, so they didn't really have to do that.
Oh, that was a nice arrow.
Baboka going in with the BKB coil onto 3 heroes. Monet gets the Abyssal Blade onto Jackie. Can he withstand this damage? Trying to get out with the BKB, but another bash onto FBZ inside his double arena. Jackie trying with all his might to get out, but the fear coming out from XXS is too much. 98 seconds, no Jackie, but he can buy back if they really want to try to fight this. FBZ able to just TP out easily. Actually procs the Eon Disc as well from Ori. Now the chase onto Yopaj, the silence is there. Stun to follow, Monet doing so much damage with the bash! 100 seconds, no Ember, but 3 buybacks still available from Boom. So trying to bait this out is Aster. And we're going to see the fortification, the first buyback to come. All right, these buildings are going to go down extremely fast. There's a Snapfire and the Bloodseeker that do not want to give up Mega Creeps. And Aster going to respect it. Man, this game is insane.
This is a good one. We might actually get 60 minutes.
Please, Gaben.
I think Boom is slightly comfortable holding Megas, too. Obviously, they buy back. They don't want to play against Megas. The reason they bought back is because they hadn't used Refresher on Bloodseeker. They hadn't used Refresher on their Ember Spirit. So they do have rounds of spells to use.
Yeah.
But that last fight, that's the one fight where Yopaj was not able to find Siamese Cat. Because he was just standing on the high ground. He was constantly Arctic burning over. He's got the Force Staff, and he just juked this time.
Oh, the Ember Courier.
It's a Yules.
Yule, wow.
Oh, he was going for the Wind Waker, it looks like.
Okay. That's one way to get out of the coil.
Yeah.
So, You know, and a next level play would be to start stacking these Ancients. Because right now, I think Aster has the advantage. Obviously, it's 16K, but that at this stage of the game, I don't think it's that important.
You just pop the 60-minute items, get it 5
You get them immediately. I mean, you have all the map controls, so if you can just starve them out, get the next Roche, boom, can't leave their base.
And you know what? The
and
next
all the
level,
neutral items.
You know what the next level play for Boom is? Have one of their heroes smoke out, or just walk out through a lane, like Ember can do it, and go into enemy jungle so you can take jungle camps there.
Yeah.
Like somebody needs to get out in preparation for the 60-minute items.
The problem is 3 buybacks expended. So if you get caught out, that could be game.
It's not one of the buyback heroes. Let's see, FBZ, he's got buyback, but not enough gold for it. He is trying to get out, though. He's the only one not staying in the base. He's trying to farm his buyback.
18K lead for Aster, but we don't know how much that really matters, as they're going to have a hard time going high ground. But the big thing is, of course, the 3 buybacks from Boom are down. And Aster has almost all of theirs. 4 out of the 5 heroes.
Juicy Arcaner in top, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Another courier, they're on top of it.
They're really protecting the secret shops. It's you have to. I mean, at this point in the game, you know what Boom is trying to do. FBZ really desperately trying to farm his buyback, because I think at this point in Dota, it's a lot easier to win a fight when it's 6v5. And like having a guy go in, and probably FBZ is the guy that's most likely to die anyway because he's the initiator. So
well, Jackie's getting pretty fat here. I think it's time to get that Aghanim set. I want to see that blood mist action.
It might
there.
actually make him a worse hero. I think it might make him a worse hero. It just kills you. Thank God it's not pure damage anymore to yourself.
Yeah, that's true. So the BKB does help.
Yeah.
Wait, is it magic damage that goes through?
I'm pretty sure it pierces.
So if it came, let's just say in a scenario where they had 4 Ags on their teams and they got Roche that had Ags, he would actually attack the Aghanim Scepter.
I think he A-clicks the Ags.
Yeah, I agree actually, because the net worth coming from it only hurts you at that point.
It does. It does. It's a real piece of shit. It really is.
I want to see it one day.
Just want to, yeah.
I mean, like the Radiance Eternal Shroud type build makes sense with it, but in theory, haven't seen it work in practice.
You know, like
though.
double the damage.
Next Roche, 10 seconds away, and I think with that, and only 2 minutes from 60-minute items, and the fact that they're constricting this map so much, I think they still wait for the neutrals, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think there's a bit of huffing of copium going on.
That's right.
Or maybe
Next
this is
Roche,
hopium, because it's
Aghanim's
future.
Refresher Shard, Cheese, and Aegis. Who doesn't have an Ags at this point?
Wyvern,
Death
no
Prophet
Ags.
is meh. Earth Spirits is pretty damn good.
Earth Spirits,
that's really good.
I think at this point that is a big one.
Yeah, he doesn't have Aether Lens though, but
you can save from the Rupture. Yeah, they're gonna give it to him.
That's pretty nice. All right, they're gonna smoke up, so maybe my copium was copium in fact.
Yeah, we'll see. And Siamese Cat taking the cheese, I actually think that's good on him, because he's getting constantly focused by Yopaj, and it's not like he's getting bursted. It's just that he's slowly going down in the backlines to Yopaj. So
and Monet also consumed his Ags. All right, just a minute 20 seconds away here, Aster. Come on now.
Come on.
You could just get a severe advantage as a result of that.
Or
maybe they go for Megas and then disengage. We'll see.
That's
He
nice.
actually pops a smoke there. That's
a
really
nice smoke break. Yeah, that was really nice.
Double cheese for Aster, so they've held on to their food.
Wind Waker on Yopaj.
Yeah.
So he can now finally get out of the coil without just insta-dying.
That certainly helps. And Aster playing very cautious. All right, I mean, you're 50 seconds away there.
Yeah, come on.
Just 50 seconds.
It's no big deal. Oh, there's
we
the
got a coil to start. FBZ.
It didn't hit anyone.
It didn't. Just FBZ.
He knocked him out of the coil and then coiled him.
All right. So now
wait,
with that
yeah,
on cooldown, they get the range racks. I mean, at this stage, Boom might just have to give up the Megas, as this is going to get 3-shot, it feels like. Yopaj jumps in with the BKB, looking for the Wyvern. Can he find him? Gets off the Searing Chains. More Refresher Orb action. There's the Wind Waker, creating a lot of space. Pops the BKB and the Refresher again. And Siamese Cat is doing perfectly fine. He's going to cold embrace himself, and you can see the rest of Aster just protecting him. There's FBZ, but he spears him out of the arena because he was in Arctic Burn mode. That is unfortunate. Yopaj stunned. He's out of the Refresher Orb now, but the Wind Waker onto the low ground. He's going to get stunned right off the bat, though. This is really bad for Boom. 125 seconds of no Ember, and even Jackie taken out.
right inside his base. So this is going to be mega creeps, if not the game for Aster. Maybe they'll still go for those neutral items. I doubt it. The GGs are gone. God damn it,
That's it.
Why?
We got the 60-minute game. No neutral items.
Damn it.
Oh, boy. What can you do? What can you do?
Gaben, why have you forsaken
You know what?
us?
All right, let me justify. Let me sit here and try to justify this for a sec. This bullshit. Here's okay. Dude, I'm telling you, once 60-minute items come out, it's so like random who wins the game that if you're Aster, you're just like, no way in hell we're gonna let these guys get 60-minute items. Like legit to them, there was a clock on there. They're like, okay, because if one team gets like a mirror shield, imagine mirror shield against Bloodseeker or something like that. But then again, that'd be arguing for Aster. But you get my point. You get one of these items, you get like a Deso, you're just one-shotting somebody.
It could tilt it in your favor. If they get the items.
Hugely though.
Yeah.
It makes it random because those items have so much value, but they don't actually add to the net worth in any way.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that game ended a few seconds too soon.
Just a little.
But Aster ended up tying the series 1-1. Let's see what the panel has to say about this great game.
So much back and forth in that match, but only one team could claim the victory. And this time around, it was Aster. Like the caster said, 1-1 on each side, but my goodness. That felt a little longer than what it should have.
I'm mad.
I'm mad.
She's mad. She's done.
My team lost. I don't want.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's the items.
Hats on the floor.
Oh, sorry. No.
Sweaters on the floor.
I'm not mad about the items.
So what's happening here? Shannon is mad because of the items. She's
Right.
mad because of her
Everyone-
team losing.
yeah.
Like,
Are you mad?
Are you mad, Nikki?
Oh,
Or you're fine.
I'm chilling.
Any molders?
I'm good over here. Like
Okay.
I had food. It was sausages. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
It's easy to please me apparently.
And you enjoyed the game quite a bit.
I did.
60 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really good. Like, it's one of those matches that you really enjoy watching. In the end, it felt like just the two mid laners duking it out. You have Ori on one side, Yopaj on the other, just playmaking out of their mind. Puck putting his whole team on his back, carrying them hard. I saw it. This is Sheepo's note. It's written there, right?
Don't look at my notes.
Puck carrying hard.
No, I didn't write that. It's true, but I didn't write it. I was mostly like, I was kind of struggling with Boom's like mid game because at the beginning, obviously like Yopaj was making a lot of plays on the side lanes, outplaying. Puck would do his best to rotate and try and counter gank, but yeah, like Yopaj was outplaying them, getting away with murder. The only problem was in game 1 at 23 minutes when the first Roche happened, Boom was quite wealthy and able to contest with like a Mars on Mars BKB. But in this game, it was 27 minutes for first Roche, and Mars didn't have a BKB yet. Like, this lack of BKBs made it much harder for them to fight into Aster's heroes.
Yeah, he got his items much slower. The beginning of the game was definitely harder for them, but they did find that way of clawing back into it. One of the ways that helped them, one of the items that helped them claw back in was the shard of the Bloodseeker. Like, Bloodseeker suddenly started hitting real hard. Like, the shard on him, plus the Mjolnir allowed them to kill off Bristleback a couple of times. Even with the Aegis, they would kill him twice in fights. So it helped out, but it didn't help them do anything else on the map. It always felt like it is the Aster that are setting the fights where they want them set, right?
Yeah.
That's a problem when you're playing versus some long cooldown such as Death Prophet's ulti. You want to force that on their side because regardless of what happens, you won't suffer any objective casualties, which they suffered. They lost sides quite early in the game.
Yeah, Bristle was quite big. It felt like Boom didn't have anything to deal with him for at least 30 minutes. A lot of their fights was just using slight chains onto Bristle or arrowing him, just trying to keep him in place while they tried to fight the rest of the team. And yeah, like you said, it wasn't until that shard that they started to kill him, and when FBZ was able to get those good spears. I was just concerned for the longest time. It was a lot of high ground defense that made this game look semi-winnable for Boom for a tiny bit.
Yeah, I wanted to touch up on that high ground contention that Aster was attempting to do, as far as not necessarily like a hesitation, but there is a little bit of it, especially when you talk about the item timings finally coming into the side of Boom here. And you know, like, you could see that Aster does still want that victory as far as like what they need to do. Yeah. But I guess I'm just curious, like, what was it that they were really worried about there? I mean, was it just the Bloodseeker?
It wasn't just the Bloodseeker. It's very difficult to breach high ground. You're playing into a Mars that can always spear you back, which did happen a couple of times into the tier 3s, tier 4s even. But the problem isn't just the Mars that's spearing you back. It's also an Ember that's cutting into your backlines. Bloodseeker zooming around as well, hitting whoever he wants to. So any team with any 5 heroes will make it difficult for you to push high ground. And when you have heroes that excel at that, it doesn't matter what your lead is. They lost their lead even just trying to bang that wall, just trying to go headlessly. You just have to wait for that Aegis or very big lead.
He did steal that from my notes. That's literally word for word what I wrote down. I'm pissed.
So when I was, I should have said it.
We share one brain.
It is the one brain cell situation.
Like I really wanted to highlight. I think one of the most notable defenses they did of their high ground was like Mars was waiting in the trees for such a long time. FBZ was waiting, and I was like, just spear him back. But like they actually did such a coordinated assault. Basically, like Mars speared Bristle back into the base at the exact same moment that Yopaj went forward with Remnant. So like they they went super like very nice gameplay spellcasting. I mean, this team's so good at spellcasting.
And just one thing, I felt that Boom's D ward on the left cliff was so bad.
Oh yeah, tell him.
That was like one of those things you want to do it, but at the same time you don't truly want to give out that you're out of your base, smoked up in Mirana's ulti. That literally made Aster's life so much easier. They knew exactly where everyone is on Boom, and it gave them that high ground advantage plus the initiating advantage to go on them, which pretty much sealed the deal.
Well, sealed the deal indeed, because Boom and Aster, they tie that series up. I mean, both teams locking it in for the upper bracket, it's looking like. But we're not done for the day. We got one more series coming at you. It is going to be RNG versus PSG.LGD after this break.
Coming up next, Royal Never Give Up versus PSG LGD.
I've got the coach Zombie here with me now. And I guess the first thing, right, when we're looking at this Fnatic, you have to come into an event with 3 standings. I wanted to see, as you as the coach, like, did you change your expectations for what you wanted to achieve here?
No, I think we're all playing to win. Luckily, we're able to have the 2 guys that lane together, and a lot of us wrote us off. But the TSM guys got second place last major. They're good players, and they're playing solo mid and dual safe lane. So everything's. I felt like it was going to be great, and it's working out well. So I'm happy.
It definitely is working out well, and like you said, you expect it to work out well, right? Because of what you just mentioned there, the lanes, how these players are working. But are you kind of impressed more than what you thought in how it's gone so far?
I think naturally, seeing the results, I am impressed. I'm also impressed with their work ethic, how well they work together, and how we've been all working well together with each other. It's been really great.
And how much would you say, from what you look at as traditional Fnatic play, has changed by adding these guys in? Are you able to adjust things a bit more? Is it staying kind of the same? You're trying to get them to fit into that? What's the difference now?
There is a difference, and we talk about these differences, and we try to find the balance. We want to allow each other to play their best, and naturally, I think we're adjusting more to them, and they are to us because there's more of them. But we're very honest with each other. I think we're learning a lot from each other, and it's just really a very unique experience. It's been quite healthy, and I think we're enjoying ourselves immensely.
That's what it's all about, man. Enjoying yourself and getting the wins in there as well. But I also want to ask, how stressful has it been for you as the coach, right? Is this like an extra bit of more work than usual you would have to do?
I would say kind of not. I mean, no, it's been very enjoyable. Everybody's like so enjoyable to be around. And talking Dota at a high level is a very fun thing. And everybody brings so much to the table that just talking about it and like just talking about Dota is just a very fun experience, and especially from a different team. So like comparing is like, wow, like this is how you view things, and this is how they view things, and like it's been really fun, just really fun.
I love that. This is a really positive conversation. The results are looking positive as well. You just got the win now. Are you feeling confident to go all the way of this? Do you think like your expectations, like you said, are still we can win this? Do you have more faith in that kind of mindset for it?
I don't think any of us are playing to lose, or any of us are playing to a certain place. I think we want to go as far as we can, and I think we're learning a lot. We see what other teams are doing. We're trying to adapt. We know that there's a lot of things that we could improve on, and should we fix those and should we improve throughout the tournament, because it's what tournament's about. You got to improve during the tournament. I think we can take this tournament as well.
Now, one last question. What's the biggest thing you're looking at where say, okay, we need to improve this? What's the one thing that you've really noticed?
I think because we talk about so many things and there's so many adjustments to make, I think we try to make adjustments like all at once, or like we're kind of over adjusting perhaps. Okay. I think we just need to find some sort of a stability in what we're doing and just play solid, and I think we should be good.
We should be good. I like it. Sunby, a pleasure talking to you, man, and good luck throughout the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Power can be found in any number of places. Scientists will tell you that it comes in newtons. Gamers will say that it can be found in silky skills. We will say that the power lies in real thrills, in the play with perfect ping, in the runes and crystals, in every frag and gank, in your personal winnings. Lock and load for PGL Arlington.
Splendid!
Hello everybody, it is the Dota 2 Arlington Major. It's group stages. We got some exciting matchup here. It's the final series of the day on the A stream. It's going to be PSG.LGD versus RNG. Joining me on the panel is the super awesome gods, and Lizard still here.
Still here. Can't kick me out.
So are you half a brain cell right now that Cheapo is gone, or are you?
No, she took the one we had.
She took the one. Oh no.
The one shared brain cell.
The one shared brain cell.
I don't know how I'm talking right now. It's the lingering effect, you know. How you been, gods?
I'm good. Yeah. That was a fun series to watch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are definitely some of the more exciting games we've had so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we can pull up like the current results of the stream so far as we take a peek here. As you said, OG starting the day off 2-0 to Thunder Awaken. I mean, it looks like they really found their groove today, right? I mean, last couple of days at least.
Yeah, they're looking like the second best team in their group, at least with how they've been playing the last couple of days. They had a slow start, as was the case in the last major. They kind of had a slow start there. Even when they got to the playoffs, they lost their first series in the upper bracket and had to make a lower bracket run, so OG's back.
Yeah, I mean, pointing out though on stream B, that's an 0-2 for Na'Vi against Spirit, and I believe, unfortunately, that puts them on the bottom. Sad face.
F in the chat.
F's in the chat for Na'Vi here.
I expected her to say on the airplane back home or something.
Oh no!
Took the less brutal approach.
There you go. Wow.
But Spirit saved North America by beating Na'Vi. They kept EG alive.
Thank you. Exactly. There we go. I mean, EG like probably sending them a gift basket right now. Let's go, and then we'll take a look at the results so far on stream. See, it is. I mean, Liquid still having that slight ticks in their life there.
That Liquid Thunder series is super important for both teams. Both teams really need a win, not a draw. So a draw is actually probably bad for both because both teams are like in that danger zone at the bottom. So really important Dota being played here.
I trust you all with the math. Everybody was doing the math in the group. I'm like, I can't. Just show me a picture and tell me what it means.
As we're in NA, Nikki, what's that second series on Stream D? What's the score?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
That Entity versus...
You could have pointed at either series and said that, you know?
I'm just saying, I don't know what's going on there,
the first
okay?
one as well.
I don't know what's going on there.
Look, with that 0-2, EG secured themselves a playoff spot. So,
there you go.
Didn't matter.
It didn't
They're
matter.
in the playoffs.
I mean, look at the standings right here for Group B because that is done, right? Yeah, lower bracket, it's fine. It's doable. Not a big deal, but you look at the nice four sitting, over on the upper bracket side, Aster and Spirit, boom, we just watched.
Yeah, how's your region doing, Lizard? Down there at the bottom. You're from Europe, right?
What's my region?
Eastern Europe, Western Europe?
Eastern Europe, Western Europe.
Yeah, that's your region, right?
Yeah,
where are those teams at the bottom from?
I can get a little bit of both, and both of them are at the bottom. Yeah, but I do also have Entity. I do also have Spirit to play.
Okay.
And they're on top.
Fair.
And can I just say that I just love that Entity is second. Man, what a story coming in with
all the teams with stand-ins are owning.
Exactly.
Stand-ins are the way, apparently. I saw so many people like rating teams that are like, oh, LG is the best, and there's the teams with no